Because we know you
They're
got. We know you.
whores. They're just gonna play to the lowest common denominator.
Okay.
That's what they always do.
Because we know you.
Dude, Nintendo is fucking cock. All right, they're bullshit. Nintendo can rot in fucking hell, and I hate Nintendo. And Sam, this is for you. Fuck Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo up their crotchety asses. Fuck you. I hope you're listening, Nintendo. Fuck you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 43 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We have returned this week to talk about Nintendo absolutely blowing up the internet, and we're going to discuss our hopes for the Switch moving forward, and we're going to talk about the Direct that happened. So, this week, I am joined by Shawn and a special guest, the one and only Marshall. And your last name's Kiva, right? Marshall, what's your last name, Marshall? If that's okay with you. I don't want to be dropping names and you get hunted down by an ex-girlfriend or something.
I'm more worried about my family finding this and making fun of me.
Oh shit.
McKeever.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Of you?
Yeah.
You mean
fuck
showering
those guys.
you with honors for being part of something so prestigious?
I know, right?
No, my family has deemed me dishonorable.
Dishonorable.
So.
Well, I'm glad you both can join me for tonight's. It's good to have both of you. And all of you
Happy to
tuning
be
in.
here.
It's good to have you guys listening in as well. We appreciate it. Marshall's been with us for a while. I remember originally I was doing an Elite Dangerous stream on the PlayStation back in the good old bootleg days, and he had dropped by, and the rest is history. So I'm glad it's come full circle. We started it as a podcast, and now you're on the podcast, and there you go. So
Yeah.
definitely cool stuff.
My life is now complete.
There you go. You could die a happy man,
I can.
hopefully with a full
I've
erection.
done so several times. It's always good.
So real quick, before we get into everything, we're going to start with an intro. How's your guys' week's been? We'll go ahead and start with Marshall, since he's our special guest for today.
It's been pretty all right. Nothing particularly great. The time change is a bitch.
I completely forgot about it this morning.
But
I completely forgot about it this morning. I woke up and I'm like, I had church in the morning. I woke up and it's like, it's 7 o'clock. I'm good. And it's like, my dad comes burst in the room. We gotta go. I'm like, oh shit. I just threw some pants on and we left. So.
Oh, lucky you. I was all too aware of it. Because on Sunday mornings I have to open at my place of work.
Oh, fuck.
So I was basically waking up at 6 when I normally wake up at 7 and opening at 7 when I usually open at 8, essentially. So that was great.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. What about video games? You stepped into any video games this past week?
Nothing particularly new. I saw the Monster Hunter their special event, their crossover with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh shit, I forgot that started.
Yeah, it's only up for a couple more days, I think. I think the 15th is when it ends. Today being the 11th.
Shit.
So I got the special Aloy's bow, which looks pretty cool. I don't know exactly how, for lack of a better term, meta it will be in Monster Hunter, but it certainly looks nice. Other than that, I've totally jumped 100% on board the hype train of Sea of Thieves. Will not be able to play it though, unfortunately.
Sounds good. That does suck. It being technically an Xbox exclusive, at least when it comes to console, but they have their Play Anywhere system, so you could play on PC. But yeah, it's a blast. I know that you stopped by for the stream, and you were hanging out with us, and we did, for all of you tuning in, the stream VOD should still be up when this comes out, and you'll get a chance to kind of see a little bit of the game we were playing, hanging out. It was me, Tyler, and one of the other Borat fan, one of the other people that we just play online with this huge fucking group of people that we all hang out with. And it's a blast. It's fun. Tyler was expressing some of his doubts, and that like we played it for a couple hours, and I feel like we've done it all, kind of. I don't know how much more they have intended for the full game or what else they're going to intend to release. I know I saw an article recently to talk about they're going to be announcing some type of DLC already at near the end of this month, March, the Xbox show or whatever they do. They might be talking about Sea of Thieves stuff. So I hope that Rare can take it to a place where it's more than what it is now. And I'm only going off of it just being a beta, so I'm not entirely sure how much will exist in the full game. But a lot of the fun comes from like the small moment to moment things, like trying to get a treasure chest, but you have a ship pull up on you and they're trying to shoot at you, and just having that interactivity of it being a sandbox and other people being around. Like we had a moment when we were coming into dock, and we parked on the back of the outpost where there was like rocks and shit, and we jumped off to take our chests to go sell them. You like can go find treasure chests. You'll get like a map, and you actually have to like dig them up on the island and put them on your ship and then take it back to an outpost. And we had both grabbed the chest, and we're coming back, and we see a ship like drive by, and we're like, oh fuck. And it was just me and Tyler, so we had the spoof or sploot, or I don't know what it's called, the spoof or something. The sloop. And we were kind of worried because it was the galleon, the big ass ship, and it had driven by, and it has 3 cannons on one side compared to our 1 cannon on one side. And I'm like, shit, Tyler, we gotta go. And we both sell the chest. There's only 2, so we're like, we're good. And we see the ship, and they turn, and they're going towards the backside of the island, and we're like, fuck. And all we hear in the distance is like cannons bombarding something. And so we haul ass to our ship, and seeing it just get annihilated. Actually, no, there were 3 chests, because one of the quests gave us 2. So Tyler like ran back out to the ship and swam into it while it was sinking, and grabbed the chest and pulled it out while they were shooting at it, and he went to go sell it. And like when Tyler said when he was grabbing it, since there's like proximity chat, he heard someone saying like sorry or something while he was grabbing the chest, like the most apologetic pirate or some shit. And he went to go sell a chest, and we came back, and I turn around, and there's a dude chasing him, and I had the sniper, so I went to like aim at him, and I shot him in the chest, and went and I killed him eventually. And we go back to the port. We're like, we don't have a ship now. We watched it sink, and I'm like, shit, what do we do? And I turn around, and there's another galleon, another big ship. I don't know if it's the other person they went to park it, or if this was a third ship that was there. So we went to jump on. And he's like, let's take it. I'm like, but like if they respawn, they'll just pop up on the ship, and there's nothing we can do about it. So I was just walking through it, looking around for chests, and I go to the bottom floor, all the way at the bottom deck, and there's like 15 fucking chests at the bottom of the ship. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, Tyler, I hit the jackpot. But he was like up there fighting people. There's like 4 of them. And he's like, oh shit. He had the shotgun, and he killed one of them. And I went down and I grabbed a chest, and I was trying to carry it out, and I had just went to jump off the plank on the ship, and I got like shot in the back, and I died, and we both died and ended up spawning on our ship like halfway across the map. But just like those like small events of like just panic or dealing with other players is a lot of where the game shines. And I'd look forward to something more of the lines of having more than 4 people. Like maybe there's like you were saying, there's a Man of War DLC where it's these big ships with like 60 cannons on them, and you can put 8 people on it, and just massive sea battles. That'd be some of the coolest shit. I'd love to see something like that down the line instead of just 4-man teams on the galleons. So hopefully further down the line, they update the game and keep people having a reason to come back besides just the sandbox element, especially for it being a $60 game. You'd hope that but I've heard that, especially like Rare has said before, that they intend to fully support this game through and through, especially with all the hype behind it. So hopefully we have some cool things come down the line. I know they talked about like raids where you fight like a Kraken with your ship and stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of ways they can go, especially it just being like a pirate setting. There's so much shit you can do with that. So definitely super excited to see what they pull out next after it releases, which is on the 20th. So, that's a lot of talking. So definitely fun. Again, you guys can, if you guys are tuning in and you want to see gameplay, you can check out the stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/ThoughtPatrol, all one word. And definitely a fun time. We had a blast playing, getting drunk together and playing sea shanties and shit like that. It was really cool. So I'm glad you mentioned that because I probably would have forgotten. Cool. So is that anything else you got? Besides the inevitable disappointment of not being able to play Sea of Thieves?
I don't think there is. No, I think that's everything.
Okay. How about you, Shawn? How's your week been?
Average.
Average? Well, that's.
I had some good things. I got to hang out with Perry and Hector, which was super fun.
That's awesome.
Perry came down from out of state, and for those of you listening who don't know, Perry's part of our gaming circle, and he's a personal friend of mine and Hector's. But we played a fun kind of tabletop board game that I have heard of, and I think Perry saw it on a YouTube station that does like board games and shit. I think it was Geek and Sundry that he saw it on. But we had fun with that. We had like a 4-man game, and one of them ended up being a killer like halfway through. So we went from like exploring, trying to find items and avoid ghosts and demons and shit, to all of a sudden there was a demonic dragon rampaging through the house, and the guy who ended up being the villain, Nick, decided that he was going to eat me. So I was running through the house. Unfortunately, I picked an athletic character because I spent the entire time booking while Hector and Perry were foraging around in the basement trying to find what they needed to kill the damn thing. But that was fun. And otherwise, the week was kind of shit. I played a lot of Final Fantasy, and I've caught up on some anime. I don't know if I did this last week, but I finished the first season of Land Illustrious. I really enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that.
We're actually going to talk about that today. We're going to review that.
Okay.
So
I started a murder mystery one with superheroes, Killer Bee. I can't fucking remember what it's called. It's on Netflix, and it's got potential, but I think it might fizzle. It's like B or D something. Fuck if I remember.
Is it like Be a Hero or Be something? I know what you're talking about. I think I saw.
No, I'll look it up before we get off the call, but I don't remember what it is right now. It looks like it borrows elements from a bunch of things.
Okay.
But it's a CSI kind of a investigative crime unit that is trying to hunt down a serial killer who is killing other killers.
Okay.
And these killers are all like masterminds and just disgusting I mean, it's got gore. But the killers, everyone that he's murdered so far just thoroughly enjoys, raping and pillaging and dismembering, innocent people. So they, and for some reason, the hero, who calls himself Killer Bee, can manifest wings and turn his arm into a sword.
What the fuck?
So it's like superheroes and supervillains.
Yeah.
And these cops are getting kind of caught in between.
Interesting.
And I started the one I told you about, the Ancient Magus Bride, which I am super psyched to continue once you get caught up with me. You got to watch the OVA first.
Yeah, I got you. That's on it's at the top of the list, and it'll probably be done by tonight since I have work not too early in the morning tomorrow, so I could stay up a little bit later tonight. So that'll definitely be on the list for tonight's things to do after we do the fucking dailies in Final Fantasy that take an hour and a half. Oh my god, I hate that shit so much.
Aside of that, I've just been farming gil for the free company and trying to up my DPS to the point where I can carry into the new area. It's probably going to be a while before I make my tank. I don't think I'll make the tank until I get the ninja to 70.
Okay.
And it's a lot harder playing a DPS class like this than I had thought, because it doesn't play like any of the other ones. And buffs and debuffs work differently on this DPS than it does on anything else. So when somebody casts, like a bard does a AoE buff, it's going to affect me differently than it does everyone else. And I don't know that part. I don't know how to use certain effects and things, so it's a learning curve.
Sounds interesting. I heard they were very, I don't know if I have the proper terms, mechanically intensive, but there's just a lot to them. A high skill ceiling, I guess, would be the better word to say there. But yeah, I've heard a lot about that.
Considering This is my first like full dive into an MMO. You know, you've played all the other MMOs I've done. They're all the free to play kind, and ESO, which is a little slightly more action oriented, and so it's a bit different than what I'm used to. Although I like it a lot. But you saw me like last week going fucking crazy trying to figure out just how to get my hot bars to the point where they were useful.
Yeah. Nah, I got you. You're still playing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
You're still playing with the controller, right?
Yep. A controller, and occasionally I plug in a mouse when I need to set things up, because it's like there's nothing wrong with playing it on PS4, but to get some of the more advanced setups and to set up like a hot, like I have a hotbar with just cooldowns in it. I don't actually use it to cast or do anything. I just put all the cooldowns right above my action bars, so that at a glance I can just tilt my eyes up like a half a centimeter and I can see how long it's going to be till I can cast certain things. And that is extremely useful. And as I play and I get used to what icons are what, I shrink the size of that bar, and then I'll add another one on top of it when I have more abilities to track.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the way that a lot of, and I use this word very loosely because it's MMO culture, but pro MMO players, people who play and do, like Nick, who's hardcore competitive in the WoW community and shit. And I look at how they have their screens set up and why, and I've been kind of adapting that, but that takes some usage too. Like I moved where the players show up on the screen, so now when I'm playing support, I have to remind myself to look at the right area of the screen, which, anyway, that's just a bunch of nerd shit. So, yeah, it's been a weird week. That's all I got, really.
Okay.
Looking forward to MegaCon.
When's that?
May, I believe.
That's a distance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, I got to do, like, hotel and arrange for a ride and my daughter and all that shit. And I was hoping we could get the group together, but that's not going to happen. So
sounds good. All right. Let me think. What did I do this week?
What did you do?
I'm healing.
What did you...
So that's good. I've gone back to work from the whole teeth extraction thing. My wisdom teeth getting pulled. Work's a pain in the ass. I cannot lie. It's pretty bad because the pain is gone. Like the teeth and the areas where they've been taken out, they're healing, they're fine. One of the biggest issues I'm having is, like I said last week, my top teeth, the roots were very deep. So when they were removed, they made holes in my sinuses and it builds pressure in my head. So as I'm doing things at work, they've been pretty good about not letting me carry heavy objects and stuff like that. I'm just doing like cereal and paper. So for the most part, I'm not lifting over like 5-10 pounds of stuff. So that's good because I'm not supposed to. But one of the issues is while you're stalking, you like have to stand up, like get down like on like one knee to put at the lower shelves and shit. And sometimes if my head is like lower than my chest, that pressure will build. And it gets unbearable a lot of the time. So it's just difficult to work efficiently and quickly like you're supposed to. Because I'm just like in pain all the time. And then I eventually get like splitting headaches and shit like that. And the pain pill won't last all day. And I'm trying not to use all the pain. It's been a bitch, but I'm trying to, cope with it for the most part. But that's the worst part. Everything else is fine. The teeth are out of my mouth and where they were, it doesn't even hurt. It's just all the hole in the sinuses. And that they said that would take 3 months to fully heal. But they said I should be better near the end of this month. So it's still a ways away until I don't have to deal with it anymore. It's just a pain in the ass. But for games, again, like I said, we played Sea of Thieves. Enjoyed that. That was fun. Been playing a decent amount of Siege with the new event going on. We had the Chimera event, or Operation Chimera started up. Played some of the zombies. We actually, I don't know if this happened before last week, but we released a YouTube video of our antics in what's it called? What is it called? Outbreak. There it is. Thank you. Yeah, so we released a video of that.
That was a pretty fun video.
It's doing well. I'm surprised. For as small as we are, it's pulled like 41 views, which is pretty decent. It's done much better than any of our. Well, I lie because I did the Fade to Silence, which was like a new early access survival game. I did some of those videos, and the first one's like ranked 100 and something views, which sucks because I thought that one was the worst of the bunch. But when someone looks up the video, they're not going to watch part 3. They're going to watch part 1 first, and then they'll see if they want to continue. So that sucks because I didn't like that video too much. I don't think it turned out that well. It was pretty mediocre in all honesty. But hey, you live and you learn. So besides that, it's been playing Siege, enjoying that. Just still a blast to play that game, especially with a group and everyone kind of calling out to each other and everyone trying to get better. We've recently picked up some newer players. One of my childhood friends that, again, I've known forever. We recently got in contact again, so we've been playing Siege with him. We used to play League of Legends all the time. And he's not very good. I'm not gonna lie. But then again, I play with Tyler too, and he has his issues. But I think it's just getting used to like a PC FPS, because it is pretty. It's a pretty considerable difference to using like a controller, not the performance or anything, but just the mode of control. With you being a lot more precise and having that option, but everyone has that option. You have to be much quicker and just better at everything, because not everyone has the handicap of using a controller. So it's just watching them kind of grow and get better. It's been interesting. Like Tyler's like, oh wait, because in Siege recoil's a thing. There's recoil patterns, and every gun has their own recoil pattern, either going vertically up, a little bit up and to the right, or just all over the place. Like New Ella, seeing him kind of figure out how to properly account for recoil while firing is interesting, and just getting used to guns. It's been pretty. Because I've been playing FPS on the computer for a while. Even before I got my PlayStation 4, I played Counter-Strike Global Offensive forever, practically 2 years alongside League, when I used to have my potato. So those were the only games I could really run at a decent frame rate. So it's been interesting just watching them kind of adjust to PC FPS games. But yeah, again, Siege still has its pull on me, at least. The moment to moment gameplay, it being slower, but time to kill is super quick, so you just have to be constantly aware of your surroundings. Still such a fun system, and with all the different operators and the different ways every round can play out, it's definitely fun to, especially again with a group, just everyone get together and try and win, which doesn't happen often. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, we try. Me and Hector, our backs are only so strong. Before we can't really carry everybody all the time, but it's still fun to play with people. I prefer that than playing by yourself with a bunch of randoms. That's not that fun. So I think that's been about it. I finished Land of the Lustrous as well. We will talk about that. Absolutely fucking enjoyed that show to the death. It was so good. I liked it a lot. And again, we'll get into that when we get to our review corner. But I'm thinking my week in general, like not gaming or anything else, has been pretty mediocre as well. I didn't really do much. Went to work, and I've been trying to heal and been doing school. So I haven't really had anything crazy happen, sadly. Oh my goodness. The sinuses, they're fucking with me. Excusez-moi. So, again, I'm glad you both can join me. This is episode 43. We're getting close to that year. I looked actually, Shawn, and we started the channel on April 22nd. So we're a little bit over a month away from being at our anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, actually.
It's already, I can't even fucking imagine it's already been a year that we've been doing this. But we love all you guys out there. I'm going to do something. I'm going to try my ass off to do something good or like special for our anniversary. I have some ideas. And that episode will be a special episode when we hit the 1 year, celebrating that, and all you that have come by to say hi and hang out with us, kind of show our appreciation in that manner. I want to try to do something special for the year video. Now we've missed a couple weeks, so it won't literally be episode 52. It'll probably be like 46, 47. I don't know exactly what episode it will be. So just look forward to that. That's going to be an interesting episode, and I'm going to probably sit everyone down and discuss with them what we're going to do when we. I have an idea, or I have some ideas. So that's that.
Same here.
Real quick, before we continue this episode, get into the meat and potatoes. We're going to do some housekeeping, some clerical shit to get out of the way real quick. If you guys want to connect with us here at the Thought Patrol community, we do have a Discord. You could stop by, say hi. We got a decent amount of people in there. I don't know, like 30 something, but actively probably like 10. But hey, it's probably the best way to get into contact with the hosts, or at least with me, because I'm on it all the time, and then I could yell at any of the other hosts because I have ways of talking to them. So that's probably the fastest way to do that. If there's anything that we talk about this episode that suits your fancy or you have an opinion on it, feel free to leave a comment down below on the YouTube video, which is our main hub, or some podcasting services do comments too. So we'll definitely love to hear from you guys. If you like our content, feel free to subscribe. Again, also either on YouTube, our home base, where we do some Let's Plays and some other content over there, or on any of your respective podcasting services. We also have a Twitter at ThoughtPatrolPD, or... What? No, that's not it. Is it? Fuck. Is it Thought?
I think it is.
Is it Thought Patrol PD? I suck at this. I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you named it PD, because I remember it confused me, because you're like, it stands for podcast.
Listen.
I'm like, wouldn't it be
No, it stands for Police Department.
CST, or...
Stands
yeah,
for
exactly.
Police
Like, the acronym doesn't make sense.
Fuck off. I'm putting it in the notes, because I always forget what it is. There we go. I got it. All right. At Thought Patrol PD, you can get announcements there, or things that we plan on doing. I put up stuff when we stream, stuff like that. And if you really like us and you really want some good brownie points, you can help us out a lot by leaving an iTunes review. I know we got like 5 or something. Just be I don't want to say generous, just be proper with it, I guess, something like that, a word like that. We want to get legitimate feedback from you guys. If you think the podcast is shitty, feel free to go leave a 1-star review and give us a reason why. And we're trying to like tailor it to you guys, make it better, so that just again, in an effort to make everything better. I'm working on getting more equipment so we sound better. I know we don't sound awful, and I'm just a sound whore when it comes to things like this. So that's just me as a person. I wanted to be sounding as good as possible, so I work with what we got. But I'm working on saving up money to upgrade our equipment and stuff like that. And I think that's about it. So yeah, feel free to do that for us if you want to connect. Also, all of those options I just listed will be in the description of every podcast episode, every YouTube video. You could find everything down there below. All the links to all that stuff I listed will be down there. So with that out of the way, let's move on to our mailbag. We have one question this week from our glorious overlord, Sam. Our boy Barry Allen changed his name. It freaked me out. I'm so used to seeing the Flash. So, actually, wait a second. Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. No, I have the question, but I was wondering if I wanted to use it during the main topic, but we can do it now because it doesn't necessarily reflect the direct. But, so, he says, "Hey, you sweet, lovable scoundrels. I am super hyped from this past week's Nintendo Direct. As the number one Nintendo fan, I am so happy that the Switch is now a renaissance for Nintendo and people." Sorry, Sam, I love you, man. Your vocabulary is so good. I love it. Renaissance for Nintendo, and people actually love them again. He says, "Kyle, I know that you want the virtual. I know that you want the virtual console library, but it will come. It will come. Listen here, Sam. I'm gonna literally crucify Reggie if they don't give me my virtual console soon. So my question to you is, what would put Nintendo over the top and give them another historical year? Love you."
Go beyond! Plus!
So, because last year was pretty good. Go ahead.
I know that Shawn says it every week, but yeah, the essay word count.
Oh, definitely. The essay word count. I'm telling you, man, he's trying to get an A. He's trying to get an A, and I appreciate it. It's even that.
He gets a gold star in my book.
Yeah, you could take any of his sentences and put it like on a t-shirt and sell it for money, right? A renaissance for Nintendo. You can put that on a t-shirt with like some fancy font, sell that, make some money. People will buy that shit. I mean, people buy like hoodies with the word Supreme on them. I'm sure people will buy something like that. We could get a merch line going. I have faith. We'll just have Sam give us really good sentences and make them the merch line. I'll take that.
Yeah, you do what everybody does now for their designer clothes. You just you make it pre-worn already. So you cut holes in it. You I don't know. You scuff it up. You fade the colors, and it looks great.
Get some
designer clothes now.
Some coffee stains near the bottom, maybe, or like some permanent marker near one of the shoulders, of the armpits.
Something.
Yeah. It'll be like
use it to clean up after you're done doing your personal grooming.
What? Oh goodness! We talked about. I can't believe we dedicated time to that last week. Is that last week where we literally talked about masturbation? I think that was because of Sam, or not Sam, because of Marshall, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was just me shitposting. I didn't expect you guys to actually spend time on that question. To be fair.
Oh, yeah, I do remember now.
Yeah, I do remember now.
I think it was a week ago, or
I think it was last week.
Ago?
I don't know. Time fucking the way it flows. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Oh, because I thought that last week you did. You skipped a week because of your wisdom teeth, and so it was the week previous.
I don't even remember, dude. I don't even remember.
All right.
It's fine. I'll have to go back and look at it. But I know we talked about it. All right, well, let's answer this fucking question. So, what would put Nintendo over the top and give them another historical year? What do you think, Shawn? Because we know you
They're
got. We know you.
whores. They're just gonna play to the lowest common denominator.
Okay.
That's what they always do.
Because we know you.
Dude, Nintendo is fucking cock. All right, they're bullshit. Nintendo can rot in fucking hell, and I hate Nintendo. And Sam, this is for you. Fuck Nintendo. I am still pissed at Nintendo for abandoning the Wii U owners. You want to know what my opinion is? If they incorporate some kind of backwards compatibility or freebie shit for Wii U owners to bring them back into the fold and apologize for abandoning them for investing in hardware that they abandoned cold, then hey, that'll make them okay in my book. But until then, fuck Nintendo up their crotchety asses. Fuck you. I hope you're listening, Nintendo. Fuck you.
I've actually heard from a couple people that they have like a complaint like that. That's like a legitimate complaint where if they purchase something on the Wii U, maybe if it does come to Switch, like in some virtual console or something like that, that they either it's connected to your account and you get it for free, or there's like a heavy discount on repurchasing it or something along those lines. I've heard that from a couple people because you do have a point. A decent amount of people bought Wii U's and now they really don't have anything to say for it. Because, hey, boom, we threw out an NVIDIA Shield that has the Nintendo brand on it. So enjoy this and have fun. It's a legitimate concern. I do agree with you there. But that's one answer. Marshall, I know you don't play Nintendo much, but I know you've heard of them. So what do you think they can do to make this year very good for them?
I know. Well, I don't harbor any ill feelings towards Nintendo, but for the most part, I couldn't care less about anything Nintendo. So I guess between the two of you, you and Shawn, I'm definitely I'll be the voice of reason here. So I'm going to. I know that it was wildly popular when they announced it, and now that it's out on the store, I think that people are going to be really clamoring for it. I'm really looking forward to that Nintendo Labo.
Oh, you
the
are?
Cardboard boxes that are $80.
Oh, okay.
I think that people are going to really latch onto that, and it's going to be the future of gaming.
Yeah, dude, the new VR, Nintendo Labo.
Think about it. I mean, everybody knows that that when you're looking to innovate, what do? You look backwards and you start there.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, think about it.
Hey, it's nothing new to Nintendo, in all honesty. Stupid shit that they do sometimes. I could see it, man. They're gonna be like black market versions of Labos that pop up, or you could get like a cardboard sex doll or some shit, which sounds vastly uncomfortable, but I could see it. Like Call of Duty on the Labo, you can make yourself a cardboard AK-47. I could see it, man. It'd be the new. It's the next VR.
That'd be great for the kiddos, you know.
Exactly, man. You got to introduce your kids to guns early and let them know that they kill people.
Who the fuck is making this
and you
decision?
get extra points.
I don't know, actually. I wonder if the Labo was an idea of like Nintendo USA, or was it like something that came out of Japan? It looks like something Japanese, something silly. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought, like, when I first saw like promotional material for it, I thought that somebody was just having a fucking
laugh.
I thought that it was a troll.
Yeah.
I thought that somebody was just like, "Hey, look at this fucking goofy stuff that's Nintendo." And then, sure enough, it's real.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea, to try and incorporate like an arts and crafts family environment thing, but the price point's fucking ludicrous.
No, yeah, $80 for a cardboard.
Well, I think a lot of it.
it
is because it comes with like a game and shit, and I think a lot of it rests on the game. If the game's just like a gimmick simulator where you do a few things, and then the cardboard's there, and you have like more of the ideas just building it, and that's fun, and then you have it, you don't really do anything with it, that'd be kind of shitty. But if it's like a full-blown game that they made to go with this equipment that would like had a decent playtime and shit like that, I could see it being a decent idea. But if it's just something like the Wii Sports of Labo, where you just get a couple things that you can do with them, and then you play for half an hour, and then you don't have anything else to do anymore, I could see that being a pretty fucking stupid idea. But I think it comes down to the game that comes with the cardboard. If that is like a legitimate, well-designed, put-together game, then I could see it being worth that price point. But if that's not the case, then it's pretty fucking stupid. It's a gimmick simulator, which is usually what Nintendo tries to do. They take something that people want and try to profit off of it. Although that's not the case with Labo. I never once in my life thought, man, I want cardboard peripherals. That's what I want in my life. So, so Sam's saying bring Labo into the forefront of everything. I got you. Shawn wants Nintendo to stop being a bunch of fucking dicks. I'm thinking if they can get
real quick. Did you just call me Sam?
Did I again? I'm so sorry. It's because like you're new and all. I got you. I won't do it again.
It's the medication.
I'm not.
Wow.
I apologize. Listen,
I would have never done that, Marshall. Just so you know, because I actually
and he called really fuck you, fuck you, you piece of shit. Shawn.
And he even gave you an out. He said it was the medication. You said no.
No, yeah, is it? I'm not a liar. I'm a truther. So don't you fucking dare.
Hey, I'm a true friend. I gave you the opportunity to lie.
Nah, I'm good.
It's true.
Legitimately, as an answer here, I really think a lot of it lies. And again, I know they're throwing out new stuff. Cool, give people more of a reason to buy a Switch because it's selling so well. But I want them to sit down and look at what people have been asking for, which is Virtual Console, and then give on that promise. Also, I'd really like a firmware update, something that makes the Switch more than just a Nintendo game player. I know they have like Hulu on there, but put YouTube on there, put Crunchyroll, put Netflix. Why is that not fucking on there? Like, it's fucking easy. It has a hub for a reason. They want you to play it at home on your TV, but what reason besides playing a game will you have it there? Like, make it something that's more of like a media system, and I'm sure they can do that. You can throw Netflix on that bitch. It's not that hard. So I don't know what's taking them so long. They have Netflix on the Wii U. So again, I think a lot of it is because when they originally came out, I feel that it was rushed, the Switch itself. That's probably why the firmware is so bare bones as it is now. But if they can sit down and give a really decent firmware update, get some media apps on there, and then on top of that, give us Virtual Console all within this year, I think they're just going to continue to pull in sales and make people happy. It's not just... It's cool, we got Smash and shit coming. That's awesome, it's fun. But if they want people to like stick around, they got to actually let them know, hey, we're listening to you, and we're not just trying to get more people buying the system. We're going to try and actually give out on some of our promises that we've made. So that's something I think would propel them either even further into good favor with everyone if they actually sit down and show that, hey, we're listening to you guys. We're trying to get this shit out. We're not just trying to get new people to buy our system. So I think that's Go ahead.
I was going to say the good thing about the Switch and about Nintendo is they still have the best first-party titles. They still keep the one thing that you can count on is that they will continue to feed, the Mario fans and the Zelda fans and the Metroid fans, and you've got a platform that is designed not just to cater to like a specific demographic.
Okay.
They've developed it to hit, because that system's designed to hit the people who grew up with an NES, the people who grew up with a Super Nintendo, the 64. They're carrying a lot of these platform, well, not platform, franchises forward, and they're making a system that isn't trying to compete with the other hardware, which is the only way Nintendo's going to survive as long as they're continuously shooting under par for cheaper hardware. And as long as they keep up that strategy, I don't think they're going to fail. I mean, they're kind of going the same route they did with the Wii, but they're focusing less on shovelware this time.
Oh, yeah.
And they are trying to bring some more hardcore titles like Shin Megami Tensei into the fold. And with an RPG, you can make an RPG look fabulous on shit hardware.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So like they're being kind of smart about stuff. That's why I've noticed like the release schedule for the Switch isn't as crowded as the release schedules for some of the other systems. They're kind of doing their own thing, which is smart. What isn't smart is them pulling a fucking Sony with the Vita and just abandoning hardware when the ship starts sinking. They just made a bunch of dumbass decisions that they know better with that system, and hopefully they don't go that route with the Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch.
Well, the Switch is already like out.
Do.
It's already outsold the Wii U, or gotten really close to outselling the lifetime sales of the Wii U. So I don't think.
Yeah,
they'll
but
be
it's still a
abandoning
very flawed piece of hardware. That battery blows chunks.
Oh, it does.
Like, I don't understand. I don't know, man. I still am. I would still rather wait for a higher quality piece of hardware than settle for something that will do. And Nintendo just doesn't seem to be on that train. And unfortunately, they set the example that Sony and Microsoft are following now.
I know that they're
going with the x86 architecture instead of going with something that was stronger.
I know that they're working on like a second version of the Switch, and it's not like the 3DS where it's like an XL. It's just like it's going to be something that's cycled into stores. It's just like a better version, kind of like how you have like a year 1 PS4, and there's a year 3 PS4, and there's minor differences in between the two. They're doing something like that.
The Xbox. Like the Xbox and the X, or the PS4 and the Pro type of thing.
Well, no. It's
not even that. It's like minor revisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the drive might be a little faster, or they might find a better way to pipeline the RAM so that you don't have quite as much of some kind of tiny technical tick. It's not.
Yeah, no, they're not like brand new things, but I've heard that some of the changes include changes to battery life and things like that. But it's not like a brand new thing. It's just something that will be cycled in. And again, you can easily say, why did this not happen initially? But I think that also comes down to I really think the Switch was rushed out to get out in March when it was released. So definitely interesting. And it's all the rage right now. Nintendo fucking broke the internet with the Direct that recently happened, which we'll be talking about a bit later. So definitely a topical question from Sam. But yeah, I think that'd probably be the best thing they can do. Listen to fans, give us that virtual market, maybe give some little treats to the people that did buy shit on the Wii U and give them either heavy discounts or just the exact same game for free to be played on the Switch. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, if you want people to like continue supporting your shit, buying games, you got to actually listen to them sometimes. So hopefully
Nintendo's not much one to listen though.
Yeah, well,
I mean, to be honest, Microsoft has done the best at listening to their constituents.
Well, yeah. Well, they fucked up so hard though. The start of this generation, but they so they had to if they didn't want to fucking sink ship with their Xbox. But
Nintendo has shown to progressively not care. I mean, they care about bringing out the money products, which is why you can always count on getting another one of the games that you want. At least in their main franchises, because that's where 90% of their fucking software money comes from. But they don't. I don't know, man. They've never been one to fucking listen to the crowd. I mean, nobody wanted the Wii. No gamer wanted that fucking system to be what it was. We were waiting for another cutting edge system, and Nintendo just did not give a shit. And they went in a direction and lost an assload of people because of it. And there's a lot of people that just never went back because of that. Like, I was disappointed in the limitations in the 64 because that was not something that was advertised from jump. Like, I had a completely different understanding of what that hardware was going to be, which is why the 64 was such a disappointment to me. That doesn't mean I didn't really enjoy a lot of the games that were on there. They were just ugly fucking games.
Yeah,
Nintendo
they were.
had never been ugly before.
Oh man.
You know, like that whole joke of like the 64 being able to do the best fog effects. But it's because the draw distance was so limited. It was the only way to cover it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have just had nothing out there.
What
they did with the Wii was a betrayal, and that I mean, it took me. The only reason I even had one in my house was because I bought one for my daughter, because it was cheaper than buying her my system.
I did so exactly.
I was like,
yeah, I did exactly what you mentioned. I fell off the train. I had a GameCube. The Wii came out. I could not give a fuck about it. 360 was there, and hopped on that train and played those games. And then eventually fell back into Nintendo with the Wii U because I thought it was sounded cool. They were making Wind Waker on it and shit. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then, well, now we know what's happened there. And then now the Switch is out and I'm back on. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I fell off of Nintendo really hard because
ever since the GameCube,
I didn't give a fuck.
Always been shitty hardware.
I love the GameCube, but it was shitty. I could say
it doesn't mean I didn't like it, but it's still they went cheap.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, it's a dedicated gaming system." The only reason the GameCube had any success was because of the first-party titles. The only reason the Wii had any success is because it was aimed at people that don't play games, and there was so much trash on it. And still, the highest-selling titles were either utilitarian shit like the fucking yoga one or the first party titles. And with the Wii U, you had a decent piece of hardware that I think could have been very valid had they marketed it right and had they put additional resources to making sure that developers knew how to use the gamepad. That's all they had to do, because there were games that were out. Almost none of the games used the gamepad right. And the ones that did were brilliant. You have the best version of one of the Batman games on there. You got the best version of one of the Assassin's Creed games on there. You have the best console version of one of the Deus Ex games on there. Yeah, you had Bayonetta 2, which ended up being console exclusives, which played brilliantly on the system. It's a pity that they just dumped it, and that's the last time. That's why I waited so long to buy this system. I bought a GameCube. You went cheap. I bought a Wii. You went cheap. I bought a Wii U. You fucking ducked out early. Why am I supposed to trust you anymore? You've turned into Sega.
Yeah. All right.
You know?
Yeah. No, I feel you. Okay, let's move forward.
And I love your games. I love Nintendo. You know me, dude. I don't get bitter and angry unless it's about something I love. And Nintendo was my first love.
Aww.
It's a pity that Sony has done the job of replacing Nintendo.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Sam. I don't think he expected that torrent to be open. We opened a can of worms there. But hey, again, we appreciate it. We're going to move forward onto our game segment.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And I have some special news. We have brought back Kyle Ruins. It has returned. Dirty porno fanfictions have returned. So, we're going to get right into it. And as always, cue the classical music, please, future Kyle. Thank you very much. So, we're gonna bring it on down and get right into this fanfiction. Now, this shit, I don't even know how to explain this, but this is basically a mix of. Now, I stayed good to stay away from Shawn's things that he enjoys, so we didn't destroy his childhood because he was not a fan of the last one. whatever it was called, Shade of Green, I think. So this one is
that was one of the most hated. You know that? I looked it up on the top 5 most hated erotic fan fictions.
Yeah. And
that was in the top 5.
It was pretty good though. It was really fucking weird, but I enjoyed it. So
keep telling yourself that.
So this is Studio 33, and it's by Florida Chickie. We got a man of culture here coming from Florida, or a woman. I can't differentiate, but all right. So this is basically a mix of Twilight and The Price is Right. So I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Someone flipped 2 coins and it landed on these. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think in the future, if this ever evolves, I'd really like to make this into like a straight up like radio play where we give everyone roles and shit like that. That'd be pretty interesting. But as of right now, that will not exist that way. I'm just gonna read it in my sensual voice. So, so this is Studio 33. I'll read. The thing is, there's not like chapters. There's just 6,000 words, and we'll get.
It's just 3 run-on sentences.
So we'll get to it. As my predecessor often said, please have your pets spayed or neutered until tomorrow, folks. Have a great day. And is that Bob Barker that he's quoting?
Yeah.
I think it is.
I believe so.
Okay. I watched Edward wave to the studio audience before making his way backstage. Out of view from the audience, he turned around and blew me a kiss before ducking behind the curtain. I saw that, Rose whispered beside me. You guys are too much. I tilted my head and gave her a smirk, but the sounds of a grown man squealing with delight brought both of us back to our task at hand. As part of our job requirement, the girls and I were left to calm down the excited winner of the showcase showdown. From this taping, the lucky man of the hour was Gary from what is this? Sea Oaks City? He was going home with an RV, a new washer and dryer, a trip to Honolulu, and a shitload of luxury taxes. Within minutes, the business suits whisked him off the stage. Rose, Alice, and I walked backstage to our dressing rooms. Before parting ways, we hugged one another. I'd worked nearly 6 months with them as models on the show, and in that short time, we'd grown close. We'd been overworked in the last week, increasing our filming to 3 shows per day so we could have an extended break over the holidays. Gary would be the last winner until the new year. This is already much better than the last one that we read because there's actual build-up and shit. And where the other one was just like, Slimer's loose, he's fucking Sam Witwicky within like the first 3 sentences. So we actually had some good build-up here. Although I'm assuming that we are Ella, or what's her name from Twilight? I don't even know. Bella? I think it's Bella.
Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
Real quick, if I could cut in. You said Sioux City?
Yeah, Sioux.
That's Sioux.
Sioux City, dude.
Oh.
Sioux City, Jesus
Listen,
Christ.
I don't know. Where is that located?
You're so uncultured.
Wow.
Where's that located?
White people, am I right?
Wow.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
Where is that located?
Somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere nobody cares about.
Okay.
Continue.
I think it's in Iowa.
Yeah, okay. Answer that question exactly. All right. I really hope to see you both on my New Year's Eve, Alice said. Bella, feel free to bring you know who. I'm planning on it. I gave her another quick hug and stepped away from the girls to go to my dressing room. It was a well-appointed space, one of the many luxuries CBS afforded me as a talent on the show. Upon opening the door, my gaze quickly fell upon the vanity table. There sat a large vase that overflowed with at least 24 delicate pink roses. Their sweet aroma filled the entire room. I noticed a small envelope attached to a plastic pick, and I walked over to the bouquet to open it. Looking forward to making you blush like the color of these roses. Be ready at 9 p.m. sharp with love, Edward. Man, I could just see his fucking glowing face from here.
Sparkling.
Sparkling, my bad. Gotta love those types of vampires, right, Shawn?
Oh,
They're only the best. They're
them.
only the best vampires, aren't they?
That's the one true vampire.
My
The kind that's a offspring of fucking Tinkerbell and Dracula.
Not even the good Dracula either.
Yeah, no. This is
No.
Dracula's pussy cousin. My heart panged in my chest, seeing his handwriting. The very proof of his intent was beyond exciting. I sat down in my dressing chair and read the note once more. This was really happening. Tonight was the night. Edward and I had seen each other over the past few months. While not necessarily a tight-lipped secret, we weren't public out of our... This is like alternate reality stuff going on here. We weren't public about our relationship just yet. We know that word eventually would get out from behind these soundstage walls, but for now we relished in the privacy of our new love. It gave us time to get to know one another better, which would only serve us well when we decided to go public and face the dreaded paparazzi. In the beginning, it all felt terribly cliche. Game show host falls for one of the models. Oh no. Edward's the fucking... What? Why is this so bad? I don't want to read this anymore.
It's called fan fiction. All fan fiction is genital torture.
This is so awful.
What's the age of the person who wrote this? Because they're a fan of Twilight and The Price is Right? Are we looking like...
This came out. All I know,
mid-30s.
I'm thinking it's a brony. I'm calling it now.
Oh no!
It's a brony.
All I know is it came out in 2010, which is 8 years ago. So they can't be that old.
Oh, timely, relevant.
Yes, exactly. But after a couple of where was I? It felt terribly cliche. Game host falls from the models. Hadn't there been enough stories about the previous log-running host and his beauties? At first, I had refused to. At least they have some. They did some research, I guess. At first, I had refused to acknowledge his advances, whether they were as subtle as a lingering eye to as bold as an invitation to meet for a drink. Even though I had very much wanted to take him up on his invitation, I knew what was best. But after a couple of restless weeks ignoring a flirtatious Edward, I decided to finally give in. Fuck cliche. I could no longer deny what had been developing between us. So late one afternoon... When do we get to the sexiness? Shit, there's so much.
Just skipping ahead. Takes hand. Anal ramming. Okay, so...
This sucks. I lost my spot.
I'm calling it right now. Like, there's no vaginal penetration. What happens is Bella puts on a dildo and fucks Edward in the ass.
Oh, dude, I'm so ready.
Putting that on record.
Okay.
Edward is the one that loses his cherry. That's what happened.
Okay. I permitted myself to match his advances backstage. His response was to pull me into a darkened corner. With just one kiss from his eager lips, I'd become unraveled. Ever since that day,
I fingered his ass. Come on, you know Edward's a bigger bitch than she is, right? Let's go.
I did not expect
She has no emotion. He cries.
You're right.
Well,
dude.
to be fair, it's not hard to show more emotion than a soup can. I mean, fucking...
That's a sparkling can. Give it some credit.
Oh my gosh. Guys keep making me lose my spot.
She ends up sparkling in the end, too.
She does?
Yeah,
don't they
she
have
has
like
kids or something?
Yeah, isn't it like a horrible CG baby or some shit like that? I remember hearing something about that.
Oh god, I don't know. I only watched like the first 3 or 4 movies because I was dating a girl who insisted on it. So we agreed that I would get laid in response for sitting through that trash. Finally I broke up with her, so I didn't have to watch the movies anymore.
Oh shit! Just every night at dinner, you're watching a Twilight movie. I'd kill myself. I
told her, she's like, "You're gonna watch Twilight with me." I'm like, "Only if I get like all access, Nookie." Like, that's what happened. If we have like no holds barred, hardcore, like just violent, disgusting sex afterwards, then I will watch the fucking movie. And she's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "All right, put the shit on, let's go."
just sitting on the couch with his fucking arms crossed the entire time. Better get some goddamn sex.
Exactly it, dude. I was staring at the clock above the TV, counting minutes, waiting for the torture to end. And the only time that I think I reacted was the first time he sparkled, and I remember going, "Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me!" And I think that's the only thing I said during the entire 3 movies.
Okay, let me get back into this.
Get back to your erotica.
I want to get to some kind of action before we call it. Ever since that day, we'd sneak out although we're getting there, we'd sneak out in separate cars to meet at each other's home for dinner dates. We also spent a few nights at his weekend home. a lovely Mediterranean-style villa in Montecito. What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
That overlooked the Pacific. It was there.
This has so many digressions where they're trying to like just cram in extra words. It sounds like Sam wrote it. And I say that with absolute love, Sam. You're one of us now, so you're gonna get it.
Oh my gosh. It overlooked
and then
the
I met
Pacific.
his best friend, and we all hung out and ate pizza and watched some shitty vampire movies.
Yeah. In
It
Montecito.
was quite titillating.
Let me finish my story. In Montecito, that overlooked the Pacific. It was there we first made love. That man played me like a piano meeting its maestro.
I'm good. Right.
Oh my god. So stupid.
I take it back. Sam would never go that dark.
Sex with Edward was an adventure and, dare I say, sport, but tonight could top anything we'd already done. Edward had known about my wish for nearly 2 weeks now. Here it comes, Shawn, your guess. This is what's going to happen. When I told him we'd been lying lazily in his bed one very late night, our heated bodies curled together in a mess of satin sheets.
Oh, it hurts. A mess of Satan.
It sounds like a good metal band, In a Mess of Satan.
Oh,
yeah, I'd listen to someone like that. Oh, man. I almost said, quote, "Tell me a naughty fantasy you think of when you're not with me," he murmured in my ear, tugging at my earlobe as I pondered my response. Heat radiated from my cheeks, but not because of his question. It was only natural that after months of dating, we'd have this discussion. I blushed because I knew the answer all too well. It was something I'd fantasized about long before meeting Edward. Oh shit, this is it, Shawn. That good, eh? He flashed me a wicked grin. Judging by those cheeks, it sounded like something I'm really going to enjoy. He wrapped one leg over mine and pulled me into the curve of his warm and firm body. Is this not entertaining enough for you?
I'm just waiting to fucking... Dude, I'm just waiting to get this over with, dude. Like...
Alright. A couple more sentences.
Real quick, like, Thought Patrol fan theory. I think that this is Sam. I think Sam wrote this. I think he's just using the pen name of Florida Chickie to cover his tracks.
It has used a couple of turns of phrases that he does enjoy. I'm just waiting for like a vis-a-vis or, you know.
Oh my gosh. Where was I? That good, eh? You flashed me a wicked grin. Judging by those cheeks, it sounded like something... I already said that. My mouth went dry. How could I tell him? It would mean I was just like all the rest of his countless admirers who watched and oogled him every weekday morning on TV. Many people had been apprehensive when it announced Edward would be following in the footsteps of the legend who stood before him as host. But he'd made the show his own and the ratings soared.
Drew Carey.
He had... He had the looks. He had plenty of swagger for a man only in his early 30s. God damn it.
Swagger! Oh, God.
The first thing that drew me to him on television was that mop of silky caramel-colored hair. I used to gnaw at my pinky while watching him run his long fingers through his unruly hair. And with his chiseled face and at the way he filled out his suits, that man was pure eye candy. I continued thinking, I want to get to what the actual...
Nod my pinky.
Nod my pinky. That's hot. My voice cracked when I said that. I keep fucking losing my spot. I continue to watch him on television. I'm almost done. I continued. There's 5,000 words. I gotta get through it. I continue to watch him on television.
We need like some Barry White playing in the background where all you hear is oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
I just download.
It just keeps repeating.
Yeah, I'll download a bunch of pornos and just take the music from them. Problem solved.
They probably use royalty-free music anyways.
Yeah. Fuck, I keep losing my spot. I continued to watch him on television after I moved to Los Angeles from Arizona. The Price is Right was on every morning at the diner I worked in. Like most people trying to make it in the business there, I poured coffee and pushed our daily specials. All the while hoping some TV or film scout would discover me. Oh, excuse me. But after a year, I was starting to face reality about the entertainment industry. With only a few odd jobs here and there, it looked like I'd soon be returning to the land of cactus and community developments. Who? What the fuck?
No, if you let people play you like a piano.
Yeah, piano meeting their maestro.
Your career will increase.
It will soar.
You can gnaw your fingers from the side.
Yeah, exactly. But
just this one passage about like her thinking about a fantasy is so long-winded.
It is
that just listening to it, I've run out of breath.
Well, I'm almost done. I got a little bit more to go. But sometimes life has an odd way of working out in your favor. Weeks before moving, I caught the eyes of a CBS scout. When the gentleman paid his tab, he slipped me his card and told me that the game show was looking for a new model. And that's how I suddenly went from oogling Edward Cullen on television to doing so in person. You tell me...
Hold on, so I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. She moved near Hollywood because she was hoping to work on a game show. She did not try out for the game show or put in any applications. She went to work as a waitress and hoped
in
a diner.
I don't know.
In a diner, to hope that somebody that works on the TV show would go into this dive diner, see her as a waitress.
Listen, dude.
And
what do you expect?
her.
What do you expect from Florida Chickie?
I want to make sure I understand the logic.
The thought process. Yeah.
What do you mean? Are you saying that's not how real life works?
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
That's exactly how real life. That's why I was checking. I am the real life
connoisseur. Yeah,
I
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
It's got to be real.
You tell me first. I said letting him speak would give me more courage, or give me more time to build up my courage. I turned toward him and weaved my fingers through his locks. What fantasy do I not have of you? That's the real question. But I think I've already hinted about having you bring your old diner uniform over one day. What? He trailed his hand down my spine, leaving a wake of goose pimples in his wake. What the fuck? Who calls them goose pimples? I've never heard that before.
People in the Midwest, dude.
I guess
telling
so.
You.
People that call soda pop. It's fucking degenerates.
Yeah, same people.
Yeah.
I think I would have said shivers or something. That goose pimple thing.
Yeah, goose pimples doesn't get me going. It kind of does the opposite.
My back looks like raw chicken.
The people who say goose pimples are the same people who live in Sayuk City.
Yeah, exactly.
Sioux Falls is in Idaho. I don't know where I can't remember where Sioux City is, but I've never heard anybody call it Sayuk before. That was magical.
Okay, let me finish the central moment.
Magical.
I squeaked when he cupped my ass in his hands and squeezed. That skirt was so short. I want to lift it up and spank you silly.
That's not right either.
He growled into my ear to further accentuate this point. The image he'd planted in my head sent anticipatory chills throughout me. So now it's your turn. All right, I looked at the ceiling and rushed my next words. Sometimes I think it would be fun to be a contestant on the show. Oh god, I see where this is going. He raised his eyebrows and sat up to rest his head on his hand. What do you mean? Oh, I just think... Oh, it's silly. I had my face in the pillow. Oh, I hid my face in the pillow. Not at all. He coaxed me out, hiding by brushing his fingers under my chin. Please go on. I thought this would end sooner. Fuck. I'm gonna read one more sentence. Taking a deep... it's gonna be a cliffhanger. Taking a deep breath before revealing my insane fantasy, I said, I used to think lots of naughty thoughts about you before we met. Back when I would watch you on TV. I just think it would be fun to roleplay that I'm your contestant. Your only contestant. And suddenly the show isn't G-rated anymore. And so we shall continue next week.
She's
How
gonna
far did we
use
get
two
through?
fingers.
2 fingers, dude. All the way. Oh, I saw the word penis in here somewhere when I was scrolling. All right, that was that. Hey, get that classical music out of here. I don't want it. All right. Let's see. What am I saying?
I know the segment is called Kyle Ruins Things, but I already hated Twilight, and now I hate it more.
Well, maybe you liked Price is Right, and now you hate it. So
now I like Price. Well, I didn't really like Price is Right before, but now I slightly don't really like it. Like,
yeah. What if
I don't know? I have even more neutral feelings for it. I just really hate this person.
Okay, that's good. Hey, you gotta hate something.
Hopefully, it's not Sam.
Our job
if it is Sam, then I'm sorry.
Our job is to spread hate. That's what we do here. So we're good to go. All right, let's move on to our box office tops. Talk about some movies that have been going on. Now, I want you guys to guess. What do you think's at number one?
Oh man,
It's not that
still Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking Black Panther. Pulling 41 million for this weekend. Well, this week. This is March 9th to the 11th. So that's the period that we're talking about here. With a total gross of $562 million on its fourth week. Still don't have a budget for some reason on this site. At number 2, we have A Wrinkle in Time. This one's new this week, pulling $33 million for its first week. At number 3, we have Strangers, Pray at Night. I did not know they were making another Strangers movie, which is interesting.
Unfortunately.
Sitting at $10 million. And it's, again, this is new, so it's his first week. At number 4, we have Red Sparrow, sitting at $8 million for the weekend, pulling a total of $31 million, sitting at a budget of $69 million in its second week. And at number 5, we have Game Night, still sitting up there with almost $8 million, pulling a total of $45 million on its third week with a budget of $37 million. Also, some other new movies that had come out this week. We have The Hurricane Heist, sitting at $3 million. Gringo, sitting at $2 million. Thoroughbreds, sitting at $1 million. The Death of Stalin, sitting at $181,000. And a bunch of movies I've never heard of before. Itzhak is one of them. So yeah. We got Greatest Showman still sitting at 13 with $1 million. Shape of Water still up there, which is interesting because I thought it was out of theaters, but I guess it isn't. Oh my gosh. For some reason, you know what it is? I think it's because of the Oscars, right? Didn't it win something at the Oscars? Shape of Water?
Yeah, they'll bring them back for encores. Plus, you have like the dollar theaters and discount theaters and shit.
Yeah, because between this week or last week and this week, they added an additional 720 theaters that were playing the film. So that's, I think it's.
I still want to see it, but it's a romance.
All right. Yeah, it's about a girl trying to fuck a fish. So I don't know how I feel about that.
No, it's not trying to.
You know what I mean?
He fucks the shit out of him.
Oh, nice. That's hot. I see that.
It's a murder. It's like Abe Sapien, man. He's humanoid. He's just not human.
Yeah. The last
and he rescues him and shit.
The Last Jedi is still sitting at 23 with 246,000 for the weekend.
God, why? Why?
For some reason, they added 25 theaters. It's on its 13th week. What else is on here that looks? Thor Ragnarok is still going. Pulled 41,000 for the weekend. But besides that, not too much else that I see here that is... Oh, Annihilation's at number 9, so that's pretty cool. Pulling $3 million. I heard the movie was okay. It sadly doesn't look like it's going to hit its budget. Being in its third week, it's going to start to die down, and it's only got $26 million. The budget's $40 million.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that it was like for its international release that it wasn't going to be in theaters, that it was just going to be done on Netflix. Is it possible that that in their deal with Netflix that they may have like
It's possible.
I don't know.
The thing is, I think the site that I use is only domestic. It's not international numbers. So.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't know. I did hear that too, and I think it is Annihilation, which is weird. I don't know. And since it's coming to Netflix, it's going to take a while to get there, and people have to wait to see the movie. But so that's that. Not much else going on. Have we seen any movies recently? I know, funny guy, you saw Black Panther. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen some funny different cuts of like just terrible moments of CG. So I've seen that.
You still didn't call him Marshall. You called him funny guy this time.
Listen.
Same thing. Whatever.
Dude, I'll beat
My
your
name
ass.
isn't important.
I'm sorry. Listen, I've called you funny guy for so fucking long. It's so weird calling you Marshall now.
Didn't you change your name after funny guy to something else, and Kyle just could not remember it for shit?
Well, it was in the Discord. He changed it to the Reverse Flash, and there was like this weird like anime arc that happened in our Discord chat. And then now everyone's gone back to their own. I can't. You're right. Well, technically, I could go back. It's sitting up there somewhere in the logs.
I pop in there every now and then, but not often enough to notice arcs and shit.
I have it on my phone, so it's just anytime a notification pops through, I can see it. It's just if I'm like at work, I can't always respond right away. But
that's why I ignore it now. Is because I only use it through my phone, and the phone's constantly going off.
Yeah,
so now when it goes off, I'm like, yep, whatever. I am a terrible co-host.
Exactly. It's fine. I accept you for who you are. Oh, look. Zim's barking up. He wants to let you know that you are a terrible co-host. But hey. What'd you think about Black Panther, Marshall?
You know, I thought it was okay. I don't know. Maybe it was. I think it might have been a mix of, I guess, being let down because obviously there was this huge hype around it.
Yeah, like everything I've heard about it initially was like best thing since fucking sliced bread, and then
everybody was saying that it was the best movie that had ever been filmed. But
what?
I don't know. When I went in and when I was watching it, I don't know. I thought it was just kind of middle of the road. I thought it was pretty all right. My favorite part of the whole movie, though, was Claw. I think that he was hilarious. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I thought that he was pretty funny.
Okay.
But yeah, there were like as far as the CG goes, like there were definitely a few shots that where you wonder like where you wonder how they ran out of budget if it was supposed to be such, if it was going to be such a huge movie. I think you guys talked about it last week. Yeah, like there was this one scene. It's in like the first like 15 minutes of the movie, so it's not a spoiler. But I think it's T'Challa. I really want to call him T'Chaka. T'Challa,
Lord and
the
Savior.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that as we know him, like I don't know the actor's name. God, I'm an awful person.
What, for Black Panther? The main lead?
Yeah. I think it's T'Challa. Anyways, he's supposed to be challenged for his right to rule their country because, oh man, spoiler alert, like 3 years ago his dad died in a movie.
Oh, spoilers.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck. This movie... sorry to interrupt you, but this movie's made $1 billion.
Oh, shit.
Worldwide.
Damn.
It just topped $1 billion on the 11th. Holy shit. I'm looking for his name, but I have to go to IMDb, I think.
Maybe.
Whose name?
The lead for Black Panther.
Black Panther.
The main guy. Fucking suck.
Chadwick Boseman was in Black. Chadwick Boseman was T'Challa, and Michael B. Jordan was Killmonger.
There you go.
Oh, was it? All right. There we go.
Michael B. Jordan got swole as fuck for that movie. Like, he was massive. Like, he was not a massive dude when he played Torch. He was massive in that movie. Just, like, chiseled the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah. So he's supposed to be challenged for, like, his right to rule or whatever. And so they're going down this goofy fucking river. And it's just like 100 people, like all up and down a cliff with no clear way as to how they got there, with like a green screen behind them. It seemed to be.
Yeah, I bitched about that when we talked about it the other week.
Yeah.
That and the rhinos and that last CG fight scene that was like Blade 2 level stupid when they were falling through the air and they landed. It finally calmed down to the point of believability, but when they landed and did the ninja flips and shit, and it was so bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the ninja flipping or the final fight scene, but I saw the rhino scene, and I'm like, ooh. And
it was bad.
It was
like, bad.
You think from
like if they could fucking do Jurassic Park shit, why can't they do rhinos? Seriously?
I don't know. And you think from such a powerhouse being Disney that we get a little bit more quality there. I don't know. Well, it's definitely interesting. So again, those were your guys' box office tops. Some of the movies are still doing good. Apparently, you don't need good CG to make $1 billion. We should make our own movie. Let's go ahead and move over to... We're done with box office. We're going to move over to our review corner. Yay! We're going to talk about Land of the Lustrous. Sam. I need to stop. I swear to God. Marshall has no idea what the fucking, not a fucking clue what we're talking about. So me and Shawn are going to give our impressions real quick, talk a little bit about the show, give a score, and then we'll move forward. So Shawn, Land of the Lustrous, what'd you think?
I really liked it. It was unique.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I really liked it. 10 out of 10. I like, they took a bunch of risks. They are not in a rush to pour the plot out on top of you. They don't waste a lot of time on garbage exposition, going too far into like having characters tell you everything. I mean, there's a lot of that, but they usually do it a bit more organically. But what I like is that there's a mystery, and they just pace it perfect. They give you just enough hints of, the story and little bits and pieces, and seems like they're more focused on developing the characters and really building the world and what these people are dealing with in the first season, and developing the mystery. Then they bring it up to a cliffhanger. It's just a very simply done, subtle series. They don't try and complicate things too much. I don't know. It's unique how they put the story together, and so far, it just makes you want to keep watching to see what's going to happen next. It's not action heavy, but it's got action in it. It's a mystery.
Okay. Now, real quick,
I like that.
Real quick before we continue, I'm going to read a little bit give you guys some information about Land of the Lustrous, also known as Hoseki no Kuni. Real quick, it aired in fall of 2017. It's done. It's only got 12 episodes. Well, at least the first season is. There's still manga. There's like four volumes of manga, so I could definitely see us getting more, and I'm super excited to see where they move next. One interesting thing about the show is that it's a blend of CG and like typical animation, something you see normally. So
it's pretty.
Oh, it is. Now, saying that might put off some of you that have seen CG and anime before, but we're not talking about like mechs in like shitty mecha shows or stuff like that. This is like really like some of the best CG that I've ever seen personally that isn't like full-blown 3D stuff, like something you'd see in
it's like visual poetry. It's really nice.
Yeah, and that
always supports the plot.
And the good thing about the doing it the way that they did, one cool thing is it allowed for really cool cinematography. Like during some of the fight scenes, the way that the camera would pan around the place and shit like that. Like I had one that, Shawn, like that one fight near the end with Diamond, the girl, when she was fighting the big kind of cat thing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah. They did a bunch of really cool camera angles with that. And then swooping over and under it and around it.
Yeah, and it was just like this one fluid like fight. And it almost felt like normally in anime you'd see like stuff would happen and they'd cut to different people's faces, or they'd cut to like a slash going through or stuff like that. But the way they did the cinematography with this show, it feels like you're watching just the fight take place, and you're just like someone sitting on the sidelines watching the fight, or kind of like a GoPro strapped to one of the cameras or one of the characters. And it feels like you're watching the entire fight take place instead of the fight cut up into pieces like they typically do in anime and stuff like that, which is really cool. And it being in CG in the way it was allowed them to do that easily without having to kind of, because again, obviously with 2D animation, it's a flat surface. It's kind of hard to get like rotating camera angles properly, especially while there's action and movement going on. That being said, you can still see some of the quirks of it being CG. Oh yeah,
the enemies look kind of stiff sometimes.
And even sometimes, although like the main character Philosophite, and we'll explain the real quick synopsis after I say this, but
Philosophite.
Yeah, the main character, even in her movement, there was so much character to her animation. Like the way that she was as a person, just the way that she moved, it didn't feel stiff like typical CG's done, or something that like by Polygon Pictures is how they do their CG. They were very animated in their CG. So it almost felt like typical 2D animation, but it was just in a format of computer generated like graphics, and it's just so well done. And I can see definitely why it won an award for the best CG in 2017. It was fucking fantastic. It was really good.
Yeah.
And real quick before,
I think it's because they weren't trying to be heavy-handed with it. They were doing light touches here and there. They weren't forcing certain things. And I don't know. I like how they did it. And it had a very storybook feel to it.
oh, definitely. And it is technically based. Is technically at least the idea of the story. Some of the elements of it, or the way that the story flows, is technically, you said it was based on a fairy tale. Right? The way, well, I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind. Real quick, synopsis. So, this is off of my anime list. We'll see how they do. Sometimes they have good synopses. So, in the distant future, a new immortal and genderless life form called gems populate the Earth. The 28 gems must fight against the Lunarians, who attack them regularly to abduct them and turn them into decorations. Each gem is assigned a role, such as a fighter or a medic. Being only 300 years old, Phosphophilite is the youngest of the gems and has no assignment yet. In order to help fight the Moon Dwellers, she wants to help fight the Moon Dwellers, but is too weak or brittle for battle. So she's eventually assigned a task of creating a natural history encyclopedia. So from that, you kind of see, basically we have these characters, and the way they explain it is that humanity used to exist as it does today.
Don't say anything more about that.
Okay, never mind then.
So you're going to be giving away key plot points.
Okay, these gems fucking exist. We won't explain how they got there. And like Shawn has said, it's kind of like along the lines of how you'd see something like the Care Bears or My Little Pony, where there's a bunch of characters that are like a base trait. They're like a base kind of like cookie cutter, but they're all given like one unique trait that separates them from everybody else, kind of. And then they're designed around that trait. But the basis of all their designs are done off of gems. So like there's a character that's based off of diamond. There's a character based off of obsidian. There's a character based off of jade, or they have like gold, diamond, I think zircon is one of them too, but they're all based off of, and they all have their designs built around the gems that they're based off of. But not only that, they're literally made out of this material, but they just have the shape of girls. Kind of, although it said they are genderless, but they're pretty much all referred to as girls.
I wouldn't say that they're genderless. They're genderless. They're just not sexed.
Yeah,
like they partner up and they have. I wouldn't say that they're Yuri bonds, but they do partner with each other on a deeper level than just work partners. Like some of them have partnered up for life. It's not. There's not a sexual element to it, just a love element.
Yeah.
Or a bond element of some kind. They don't really go into it. I kind of like the fact that they leave it. It's just a natural bonding between two paired creatures. They are bonded for life. They are partners. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
They stay together, work together, play together. That's the way it works. But all of them are to a degree naive. Either they choose to be naive or like Phosphophilite, where they're naive because they just
you tried.
Told them.
I don't know if I can pronounce her name.
Phosphophilite.
Oh, okay. That works.
Just Phos for short. They all call her Phos.
Yeah, I've never heard of that material before. That like mineral.
Yeah, all the characters are nuanced in different ways, which I like, and you don't initially see that, but it does feel a little bit like a deconstruction. There's a lot of darkness beneath the layers that they're discovering because of Phos's character evolution, because of how she changes as she learns more and more and grows, and then how she overcomes certain losses and so on and so forth, and the impacts those have on her. It's just really interesting, and it's super unique. And in a few weeks, like I think we should go into a spoiler thing, but I think if we're just going to talk about it for the first time, I like it because it's unique.
Yeah.
There's something very clean about it, and that doesn't seem like it's been done a lot before.
Yeah, and because of that, it kind of creates like a charm to it where you just want to find out more.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know more about this world, and you want to learn more about these characters, their situation, what they're dealing with, and then the way the show plays out is they slowly start to reveal more things about what actually happened and how we got to where we are today. And you're kind of learning and growing alongside these characters, which is interesting. I want to give out like a huge shout out to the Japanese voice actor for Phos, the main character. was Kurosawa Tomoyo, which is the same exact girl that does the main character in what's the name of that show? The show about the band. Hibike Euphonium.
Which one?
Hibike Euphonium. It's the one that's done by KyoAni, and she's a fantastic fucking voice actor. I love just listening to her, and she was Kumiko, that's the name of the character. Even in that show, it's just the way she speaks and the way that she handles her characters has an interesting charm to it herself. Like, I loved Foss as a character, and she probably had the most development out of all the characters, although they all had considerable development. You kind of see their what they want to do, what they want to learn, how they want to improve themselves. But Foss technically had the most development, both literally and metaphorically. And I just love her character, and I loved the voice actor that they picked for her. I think she did a fantastic job voicing her. And the music was really good. Like, holy shit, was the music good in this show.
Yeah.
Super awesome. I'm thinking, who did we say that he was from that did the music? Nagasaki Yukio, who also did the music for... You said that he sounded familiar, right, Shawn? Was that you that I was talking to? He did the music for Halo Legends. That's interesting. He did all the music for Love Live. He did some One Piece movies.
Love Live, that's old.
Love Live's not that old. Well, I mean, they have the second season going on now. He did for Gotchaman Crowds. He did the music there. That's about it. I don't see anything else really big here. I mean, I love my anime list. You could learn so much. But yeah, just the general music, background music was fantastic. Every character not every character, but some of the characters had kind of like a song that goes with them. And I loved it. Pretty much the presentation in this show is fantastic. From the visuals to the music to the animation, everything about it is very clean and good. Even down to, like, because they're all gems, you can see the sun shining through their hair onto their clothes just as they stand there talking. So you never feel like the show's really super static, like you can see in some animes where it's just a face shot and then a mouth flapping and stuff like that. You feel like there's constant movement going on. And yeah, again, we're not going to get into any spoiler talk. We could save that for later, but definitely highly recommend it. If you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's there. If you have Amazon Prime, they had a service called Anime Strike. People got mad because they had to pay for that on top of Amazon Prime, so they just broke it down and threw it onto their video service. So you can see all that stuff there on top of like Made in Abyss and stuff like that. So definitely. Also, one thing that's interesting is the Japanese name, when translated, is just Country of Jewels, and I think Land of the Lustrous is a much better title. I don't know. Which
is rare that the translation actually works better.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of shows, even like Erased. That it was just such a shitty name for the show because the actual name was like The Town in Which I Do Not Exist or something like that. That was like the legitimate translation, and they just said Erased, and I'm like, oh, it's not really. I'd rather have had something like that, but yeah. So recommend it. You guys should check it out. Again, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm so excited to see the next season of this show. I want to see what's to come, what's coming next, and I love everything about it. So, Shawn, what do you think? Scores. What do you got?
I would give it 9 engagement rings out of 10.
Aw. I'm going to be...
Because it was engaging.
Aw. That was awesome. I'm trying to think of something that I did not like about the show to justify my score, and I can't think of anything.
I don't think it's perfect. There's something about it that doesn't quite feel perfect, but everything that is there is so well done. I couldn't really justify giving it less. But if the second season doesn't kind of pick up the slack a little bit and really start propelling the story forward, then I might have a problem. But
yeah, I could see
12 episodes, I think they did really well.
I could see someone thinking it boring. Again, it's definitely not. It's not an action show. It's more of like
it has action in it, but it's for like
it's more of like
4 seconds.
It's like a character study. You're kind of like you're kind of like figuring out who these people are, their situation, and understanding like their drive, what makes them who they are, and how they try and better themselves. So I'm gonna give it 9.5 lost limbs out of 10, and and if you watch the show, you'll understand why. So that was Land of the Lustrous. Highly recommend it. Hopefully, maybe I don't know if I want to try and maybe we could do our next review corner on Ancient Magus Bride or whatever.
The Ancient Magus Bride, yeah. All I say about that is fucking watch it.
Okay, yeah. So again, that was just Land of the Lustrous. I recommend it. Even if you're not a fan of CG, I highly recommend giving it a try. It again, some of the best goddamn CG animation I've ever seen. And in a world where like the recent Berserk animations are a thing, it's really not something you see often. So let's move forward. We have our what to look for. We have some games coming out, guys.
Real quick, I have a question about the about Land of the Lustrous.
Okay.
So you said it's got interesting characters, an interesting story, and like they're called gems. They're gems.
They're literally they're like based on minerals, but they're made. So like at one point, if someone loses their arm or something, the way it works is their arm is lost. Like if it's gone, they can't get it back. They might be able to like have a replacement for that. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but they can replace parts of their body if they have something. Because the way it works is their body has these little microorganisms inside them that. Okay, they're gems, and they're made out of gems.
Watch the show, Marshall. Just watch. It's 12 episodes. Right. Watch it.
Oh, he doesn't like anime. It's all right. It's good. It's the thing is it's in Japanese, so you'd have to watch it subbed. They don't have it in English, at least from my understanding. They don't. They're made out of gems, like legitimately made out of gems. Like the inside of their body is the material, whatever they're named after. Like the diamond.
They're living gems. They still flex and move, but they can break.
Yeah. And they got fat asses.
Hardness ratings and shit.
They got fat asses, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. Dead ass.
Bits.
And no boobs. It's weird. They don't even have nipples. Like one of them takes their shirt off at one point because she got messed up. They don't have nipples. Just fat butts. So. Yeah, you'd think like.
So, are you sure you guys didn't just get tricked into watching a better Steven Universe?
Oh shit! Well, I haven't seen Steven Universe.
I'm not a Steven Universe fan. I think the cartoon's retarded, but there is a huge army of angry Steven Universe fans out there that the moment you bump it the wrong way, they come after you with torches and pitchforks. So be very careful, Marshall. They may find out where you live.
I haven't
let them come.
I haven't seen it, so I can't compare the two. All I can say is I really like Land of the Lustrous. It's up there with some of my favorite shows, just because, again, it's something that even in anime, which usually does a good job of giving you something that is unique already, compared to, I sound totally biased, but compared to Western media, although we have our chances too. I think it sits on originality up there too within anime, which is pretty cool. And just it's just a cool world. It's it's not been hella fleshed out, but the way that they're fleshing it out is interesting and, like Shawn said, engaging. I want to know more. And the way that they ended the first season makes me want the second one. Like, I want to see what happens next after everything. It feels like a journey that we've gone through. I want to see what's coming next. So I'm super excited. Yeah, definitely good.
For somebody who's not a fan of anime, would you recommend it?
I don't know, because I can consider someone either seeing it weird or boring. Because it's not typical.
If you're a fan of anime, I'd go with something a bit more conventional.
Yeah, it's not like, again, it's not too actiony. A lot of it is just these characters talking to each other, and it's like a mystery, kind of. You're trying to understand what's going on.
Gotcha.
What the hell's going on with these people? How did they come to be the way they are? Who are the Lunarians? Why are they doing what they're doing? And I mean, the only thing I could say is to try it. I can't really recommend that you'll like it or not like it, because I don't know what your tastes are. Some people like anime, but they only watch action shows and shonen. They don't like stuff that's kind of on the back pedal, like things like Bakemonogatari, or that are more something where is characters talking to each other a lot and they're kind of expressing their emotions to each other. And not trying to say we're like, oh, the elitist over here. It's just that it's just not something that someone that watches One Piece and Naruto might get into, because it's not that. It's not that formula. It's not that type of show. It's not that type of story. It's different. But
what kind of video game do you play, Marshall?
Lots of open world shit.
Any Japanese stuff, or is it mostly Western games?
The only, mostly Western. The only, really the only Japanese games that I've played are Metal Gear and Metal Gear 5 and Monster Hunter, most recently.
Well, Monster Hunter's not terribly thick on story.
No, it's not.
What about when you play those horrible open world games? Which ones do you play?
I was not a fan, as you could tell.
No, I kind of gleaned that. Probably my two favorite ones would be Skyrim and
the trigger word.
Fallout New Vegas.
It's the trigger words. Bethesda.
Okay. If you like I hate Bethesda. If you like Skyrim, then if you were to give anime a shot, I would start you with Record of Lodoss War.
Oh, that shit's so good. Yeah, but you know what you should do?
With that.
Watch the first episode of Land of the Lustrous and tell me that shit's not pretty, because it's pretty. That's the very least. If you're a fan,
no, I looked up a few pictures on Google Images while you guys were talking, and yeah, it definitely looks. It's a very good looking anime.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take up any more of your time on your limited schedule, but I don't know. Maybe I'll force feed Turtle Wife some. And see how he likes it. Yeah,
he was telling me that he watched something that Sam posted in the Discord. It was like Ico or something like that on Netflix, and he was telling me it was tropey and shit. I don't know what kind of fan he is, but he might like something like that. I was telling him about it. So
yeah,
Ico, yeah.
Yeah, I'll ask him his opinion on it.
Yeah, I asked him, have you watched Land of the Lustrous? It's fantastic. And he said, not yet, salad. And I don't know what that means. So...
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the whole salad thing.
You should tell him, is he trying to eat my ass? Because when someone tosses someone's salad, they eat their ass. The next time he says that, say like, man, you trying to eat my ass?
Dude, I think it's special that you actually had to explain that.
Yeah, dude. My sister, Caitlyn, we all know Caitlyn. If you've tuned in, you know Caitlyn. Mm-hmm. She didn't know what that was, so I told her to Google it. She found an article on how to properly toss someone's salad, and we had a good old giggle from it. And it was dead ass, but it wasn't talking about tossing salads. Dead ass talking about eating someone's ass. It was an article explaining how to properly eat out someone's ass, but it was funny. We had to laugh at it.
It's not like it's complicated.
I know. You got a butthole. You stick your tongue in there. Just don't get it too far in. You might pull out some stuff you don't want. Good to go. That's Kyle's tip for the day.
I've never heard like tossing salad as a euphemism for eating ass.
Well, now you know. Yeah,
that's kind of old.
That's a good pickup line. Hey, girl, you had your salad tossed recently? I got some ranch dressing right here.
It as, like, a general or like someone getting their ass beat. But my friend told me, oh my god, he's kind of weird sometimes. I shit you not. He comes up to me one day. He's like, "Oh, you get a new haircut? I like your salad." Like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And you're like, "Oh, salad. It's like an old word for hair." Like
no, it isn't.
No. He's like, "Yeah, dude. When my dad was younger, he'd like to pick up chicks. He'd say, 'Hey, that's one happening salad.'" And I'm like, "Dude, that doesn't make it okay. Stop."
It's so fucking weird. Your dad, the type of person that stops by with the big ass white vans and shit like that. I got some candy for you. You got a nice salad. Let me eat your ass.
I'm gonna put some syrup on there and just lap it up.
Jesus. All right.
I like that ass.
What?
Give it to me.
Spill out some letters on your colon.
All right. What to look forward?
Salty sphincter time.
Oh, God damn. What to look for? What to look for on the horizon? We got games coming. Let me think of a segue real quick. I can't think of anything. I was going to try and relate new games to eating ass, but I couldn't. God forbid, I'm not a miracle worker. I couldn't think of anything.
You mean another EA game?
Oh, there you go. I'll take it.
Oh, I got you.
If we had an EA gay coming out, that'd be EA gay. That's what we're gonna call him now. Okay, moving forward, we have
Gay for EA.
Devil May Cry is getting an HD collection for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 13th.
Fuck yes.
We got something called Golem coming to PSVR on the 13th. Something called Pure Farming 2018, sounds like a blast, game of the year, coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 13th. And finally, we got Kirby Star Allies coming to the Switch on the 16th, which is probably the only thing I'm excited for. So from Shawn's previous happiness, I'm assuming he's looking forward to Devil May Cry. What about you, Marshall? You got anything you're looking forward to on this list?
On the list, no. But on the subject of eating ass, Battlefield.
Oh, back to there.
V. Yeah, EA games. Battlefield V was announced, which is going to be World War II Battlefield. That's going to be interesting.
I wonder why they didn't just call it Battlefront 2 or Battlefield 2. I always get those two mixed up.
Because there already is a Battlefield 2.
Oh shit, you're right. There's already a Battlefield 1?
Yeah, there was
Checkmate.
just released, but like the first Battlefield, the first one in a game, you don't call it Battlefield 1 or like.
Listen here.
Like on the what was the first Star Wars movie released chronologically, not the prequels. That wasn't Star Wars 1.
Wasn't
you know what I mean?
What was the first Star Wars movie, Shawn? Wasn't it A New Hope?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
You're not talking about the prequels, right?
No,
chronologically
the first that was 5, right? 4 or 5. That was 4 or 5.
Yeah. So it was
episode 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't Star Wars 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
So that's
okay.
So.
Technically, Battlefield 1 that we already have is technically is it in all honesty feels like a World War II game because of the automatic weapons and shit. It's just set in a World War I setting. Although it would be cool to have something like a D-Day map for Battlefield. Like a rush map, but it's D-Day. So like first objective, push up the beach, and then you got people on turrets and shit. That'd be a blast. I'd love to do something like that. And I know Call of Duty tried, but I felt like the scale was a little too small. I only played World War II for like a week, and I stopped playing it anyway.
It'd be cool if they resurrected the Medal of Honor series, but went back to that whole Spielberg-esque focus on making it extremely cinematic.
That
it was realistic, but the emphasis was definitely on the cinematic feel of it. Like you were playing through.
Well, if you look at
World War II movie that was designed around accuracy as opposed to playing through an accurate World War II sim. And when Call of Duty came out, they tried to lean it farther into the sim area and less into the cinematic aspect of it. But those first two Medal of Honors, except for that weird Nazis in armor, the running around in a medieval armor bit, like those first two were great. And I liked the I played all the way up to the co-op one where you were at Pearl Harbor, I believe it was. I think it was Pearl Harbor, and then they did like this whole Eastern offensive thing. It was the last one on PlayStation 2, I think, and those were so much fun to play, and you could play co-op. And the Call of Duty just never captured that same element to me. Call of Duty, I don't know, man, it just never seemed as good.
The thing, Battlefield 1, although I'm not a fan of how DICE does their single player because it's pretty much just tutorials for multiplayer, I felt like the stories that they had, the vignettes, were cinematic. Like, I thought they were cool.
The Bad Company ones especially,
holy shit.
I enjoyed.
Especially the Battlefield 1, that one level with the tank, and you have the one point where they send out their pigeon to go tell them the artillery coordinates, and you have to actually fly the pigeon, and you're looking over like the destroyed landscape as you fly this pigeon, and the music gets very like serene, and it's like a super surreal experience. My favorite part of all those vignettes was that one tank campaign. And then
sorry, continue.
So I think that we could see something like that with Battlefield 2 if they decide to continue that idea of the vignettes. I just want something that's not a shitty multiplayer tutorial. I mean, they had some things like that in Battlefield 1 where they had like the stealth mission, which was okay. But for the most part, it's like, we're going to put you in a plane, fight other planes, so you could use this later in multiplayer. We're going to put you in a tank, fight other tanks, capture this point on the map for some reason, because it's what you do in multiplayer and then move forward. I don't like that. It doesn't feel.
That's how they fought in World War One. I'll have you know.
Yes, they captured points on the. Yeah, I got you. Let's capture this hill for no specific reason and then move forward.
World War One was just a giant game of capture the flag.
It was. It was a big game of Rush. With a lot of death.
I think the most intense historic thing I ever played was when they did the storming the beach D-Day thing in Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. It was on PlayStation 2. That was just intense.
Yeah, the one they did on Call of Duty 3 was pretty intense too. I remember that one fondly, although it's been a while.
Guys screaming and getting blown up and body parts. They had those machine gun embankments that were just mowing down the NPCs running next to you. Well, Medal of Honor had ass loads of scripted events and shit like that would play off to give you that feel. I don't know. I know that they try to do that with the dice games, but I still think the best Battlefield dice games are the ones that were drawn entirely around a plot. I still like those two Bad Company games because those things were entirely story based.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I feel like that's kind of I don't like their multiplayer. I didn't think any of the Battlefield, the other ones like the modern day Battlefields, like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, I didn't like their stories too much at all. Battlefield was okay, but again, I didn't like the design of the. It's like go here, do multiplayer objectives, and you're done. And there's a story kind of put into that. I didn't like that. I want like a legitimate campaign. And I felt like these vignettes were just like an excuse, and we had someone write up some stories and maybe research some actual events that happened and put some characters in there. But you're still technically doing fucking multiplayer objectives. I don't like that. I think that it feels very forced and shitty, and it kind of pulls you out of the story. But
I think war shooters are just limiting as it stands. I don't know how many ways
there's only so much you can do.
Change the formula around.
Go here and shoot people. Go to another place and shoot people. Do what you do in war. You go to places and shoot people. I understand what you're saying, yeah. But it's
they made it a little bit like an adventure game where you have the first person shooting mechanics, but maybe you have to go and repair this, and then there's a mini game for repairing it, or maybe you have to run a quest for somebody to go and get parts to fix the tank, and then you got to take the tank to this point and then team up with these other characters to do a sabotage. But then you're looking at more of a single player kind of thing, unless they try and incorporate some of the elements they used in those old Desert Storm games.
Well, they had they had something like that.
Those were kind of different.
They had. You reminded me now. They had something like that in Battlefield 1, and that was all the tank. I guess the tank one was my favorite. But in the tank one, you do something like that. Your tank gets fucked up. The treads are messed up from the artillery barrage from the pigeon, and you have to like sneak into these towns and find parts that you scavenge off of other tanks to take them back to fix yours, and then you're trying to get to an evacuation point. So you're reminding me some aspects were better than others, but like the whole plane campaign I felt was pretty shitty. The runner campaign was pretty shitty. But I felt like that tank one was probably my favorite. Even they had the horse one when you're the woman. That one was okay because there's you get dropped on a big map and you move between points. You have to like take out kind of like Ubisoft style, encampments and outposts and shit like that. So maybe now that I think more about it, it wasn't horrible, but some of those vignettes were pretty bad.
No, I think my favorite one was the Australian, the Australian little. I think it was just a couple, like maybe 3 missions or so, where you were playing as the Australians on. I think it was Gallipoli.
Wasn't that the runner where you have to like run to this one point and then you have to like run back to the ship and tell them to not fire the artillery? Was that the Australians?
I think that may have been one of them, but overall, I kind of liked it. Did
it end with like the dude that was like the father figure to the son like dying on the hill? Yeah, that's the runner. That's
kind of He held them off while artillery striked them or something like that.
Yeah, that was the runner. That was that one. I mean,
I like that one.
If you took a game and you designed it like they did with Resistance 2 or Gears of War 3, but you made it real world, you could. That makes room for co-op, or you could do large co-op teams, but instead of lowering energy shields or something, your accomplishing a more realistic goal, but you have scripted stages, that could work.
Yeah. All right. It's almost 2 hours in, and we still have a main topic in news. So let's push this forward. Again, Sean's excited about Devil May Cry. I'd love to play those games again. So I didn't really like the first one too much, but I liked like 2 and 3. I thought were really good. I wonder if, I don't know. I'd look forward to playing those. Maybe even, especially since it's like HD and kind of like remastered. I'd like to pick that up for like PC. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then I don't know about Kirby Star Allies. I have a Switch, but at this point, with all these with like Sea of Thieves and Ni no Kuni 2, I don't know if I want to really drop money on a Switch game that I know I'm not going to play until I go on like a car ride somewhere. So maybe I'll wait till I have like a trip coming up and I know I'll be using my Switch a lot, because I don't use my Switch. It sits downstairs in the dock. All right.
Well, unless you got like $60 just laying around, and then you could buy it just to buy it. Like I do that sometimes. I'll buy a game because I know I'm going to want to play it later.
I don't know. All right, let's move on to our news. A couple things real quick. Nothing too big that happened this week in games. So first, we have Fortnite. We'll be adding a cross-play between Xbox One, PC, and the mobile versions. I didn't even know there was a mobile version of Fortnite. So this is...
I didn't either. They had cross-play before. It was just... Sony made them remove it.
Yeah, they did. What?
Huh, okay, so then that must have changed, because I heard very similar news, but it was crossplay between PlayStation, PC, and mobile, excluding Xbox, is what I heard.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if that has changed, or if the source that I heard it from misreported or something.
This was today, like this morning, that this was reported.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe
they'll be doing crossplay across everything or something. I don't know. But this is Tamar Hussein of GameSpot. We have Epic Games has announced that its Battle Royale game, Fortnite, will be updated to support cross-play, cross-progression, and cross-purchase between the Xbox One, PC, Mac, and iOS versions of the game. Furthermore, support for these features will be added to the Android versions in the next few months. Quote, contrary to what may have been implied, Microsoft has long been a leading voice in supporting cross-platform play, connecting players across PC, mobile, and all consoles. Quote, we've been working together with them over the last several months to make this possible, and we'll bring this functionality to the Fortnite players on Xbox right along with other platforms. It continues with each new platform we support and every update we ship. We strive to bring Fortnite to more people, make it easier to play together with friends, and as always, cross-play as is opt-in, so you have to opt into it, which is interesting. Fortnite has been available on Xbox One and PC for some time, but mobile versions of Fortnite were announced on the 10th, according to Epic. Fortnite Mobile is the same 100-player game you may know from Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Mac, with the same gameplay, same map, same content, and same weekly updates. So this is interesting, because I think one thing that this might present is, obviously it's opt-in, so you don't have to do it, but when people do opt-in, how are they going to... Well, is it just like we're going to throw everyone in to one server and then it's just, again, go ham? Because as we've seen, PC players, if they're thrown into a game with 60 other people that are console players using controllers, will we see some form of outrage because of the fact that people are getting fucking annihilated by people using mouse and keyboard? Or will there ever even be anything, because it's Fortnite? Everyone fucking plays Fortnite, which includes all the 12-year-old kids that have consoles. So I wonder if there'll be any type of uproar or some type of speaking up, like maybe we need to show something here or there, or maybe force PC players to play with a controller or something, or force consoles to use mouse and keyboard. I don't know exactly, because you can use a mouse and keyboard on Fortnite on your console. It is supported. It allows it. So I don't know exactly.
It's not 1-to-1 though.
No, it's not. I don't. Nothing mouse on console is 1-to-1.
When they have boxes that'll let you do it, they're just expensive.
Yeah. So it's just interesting to think about, like, moving forward, what kind of questions this might pose, knowing how fucking trivial like gamers are sometimes. If people will bitch about something like this, especially Fortnite being as big as it is, we might see something interesting. But on the direct opposite, it'll be pretty cool to see this feature be opted into more games. just to allow more people across the gaming community to play with each other. Hey, if you got like Borderlands 2, or when Borderlands 3 comes out, hey, you can play Borderlands 3 on PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, I don't know, everything. And if you have a PC, you can play with someone that's on their Switch. You can play with someone that's on their PlayStation. That'd be really fucking cool. And if this is really big and people see that this is cool, I don't know what this might do to the gaming market, because then at that point the console war it's already small presence is even diminished even further, because now it doesn't matter what fucking console you buy. At that point it's just whatever has the better exclusives. So
that's what Microsoft's been trying to edge it toward.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see moving forward what happens and how big this gets. And I would be interested to see some kind of like, damn, this dude fucking sniped me from across the map and he like flicked right to me. And it's like, yeah, he's on PC, dude. What do you expect? This is how games are played with the like mouse and keyboard, especially first person shooters. And for as competitive as you can get with Fortnite, which people do, I wonder if that can cause any issues. It'd be interesting to see what happens. So
I think that
Fortnite's not all that precise, though.
Well, it you can kind of say that because with the front, like with your gun, you just have like a cone in front of you, kind of. But if you're good, you can very easily snipe people with like assault rifles, even though you can't do first person, which is interesting. And they do have snipers. You can use snipers, and a lot of people do have snipers. But I do agree with you that it's not like first person. Which I've heard, but I've heard from some modder that they were making a first person mod for the game, so there might be a mode kind of like PUBG that's like that. But it is less precise. It's more of like a really small cone of RNG in front of you that hopefully your bullets fly in the right direction while you're shooting at someone. But even if you look at the building, like how fast people build with mouse and keyboard, because they could so quickly spin around and throw up huge forts where you got a dude on his controller that he's trying to, and again, I sound hella biased. It's just, you're more precise. It's just, that's the truth. It's how it is. From being someone that plays on both console and PC and enjoys both, that's just how, that's just the truth. It's just how it is. So it'd be interesting to see just if there's anything that does come from this in a negative light. It's something to watch. That's all I'm saying. What were you going to say, Marshall?
I think that Fortnite on mobile is just going to be a meme for the most part.
Yeah, I wonder like how that will run because Fortnite isn't very graphically intensive, and with the amount of
but I mean, still with the large open world and the 100-player servers, I can't imagine that it's going to be looking fantastic on a phone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As well as the fact that you're using a touch screen, which is
that's gonna suck. I can't imagine trying to be like, how the hell would they implement the building and all that other stuff, inventory management and all of that stuff into something where you have to touch the screen to do a lot of things. It'd be interesting to see what that version looks like. No, I definitely agree with you.
But like I don't know. I think instead of it being like used like seriously, I think it's just going to be just a bunch of like Fortnite streams and YouTube videos. Like, oh, check this out! I won on mobile. I'm a god. Look at me. Come subscribe.
Yeah,
please,
please.
Yeah, just
I need to pay rent.
More fucking view whoring and view mongering of Fortnite, and I don't know. I hate Fortnite. I think I've made that clear. It has as much as I hate the battle royale genre in general, I particularly hate Fortnite because it contributed to and ultimately
led to Fortnite
helped
memes.
With the death and led to the death of a fantastic game.
He's a Paragon fan.
Paragon, you will be missed.
Oh,
Paragon was trash.
Whoa.
It was not. Them is fighting words. I will fight you. I will fight you, Shawn.
Them is fighting words. Listen. No brawling out here.
I'm just kidding. I never played Paragon. I tried. Turned
Listen,
it on
guys.
Once, fuck this and turned it off. I didn't actually play it.
Listen, guys. We can't have a battle royale here.
I don't. But that's not Fortnite's fault, man. That's
it is Fortnite's fault.
The developers opted to focus on Fortnite because they were making more money
Well, yeah,
It's
so
Fortnite
that's
than they did
Fortnite's
from
fault.
Paragon.
It's Fortnite's fault still.
Yeah.
No, that's the players.
They started devoting more and more resources to Fortnite, and this is the free Fortnite and not the Fortnite
And
that's shit.
I'm pretty sure the
Or,
developers
well, they're both
didn't.
shit.
I'm
One
pretty sure the
that's-
Yeah, bear
developers.
in mind, I was teasing you about Paragon. I enjoy the PvE part of Fortnite to a degree. So, no, I take it back. Paragon's garbage.
Wait, listen. Wait. The developers of Paragon did not opt in to shutting down their game to move over to Fortnite. They were moved by Epic Games as a publisher. It's not something you opt
it's
into.
Epic's fault.
Yeah. I'm not saying
Isn't
like
Epic the publisher and developer?
of Fortnite, but I don't think they are. Well, they have like their sections, but like it's not like they asked them, "Hey, you guys want to stop making your game? All right, cool. Let's go make Fortnite."
I know that they were moved elsewhere, but like the resources slowly being dragged like away from Paragon have definitely not helped its its player base, because it's definitely been slowly dying. I think it's been on kind of a downhill roll since Legacy, but I don't know. I had fun with it. I genuinely enjoyed it for the most part.
You should play
You should play
a man's MOBA, League of Legends. You can't. I can't even imagine how they would make a port for that on console though, because the way you control it is so weird.
I played League. I don't know. It was all right. It was whatever, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Let's move forward. Oh my god,
Don't look at me. I like Battleborn.
all right. Division 2 has been announced, fellas. We have a Division 2 on the way. So this is by Chris Pereira and Oscar Deus of GameSpot. Shit, man, we got two people. So
Double serving.
Ubisoft has officially confirmed a sequel to The Division, aptly titled The Division 2. In a live stream, the company revealed the game and confirmed it's being developed by the same primary studios as the first entry, including Massive Entertainment, Red Storm, and Ubisoft Reflections. You'll be able to transfer some progress from the original game to Division 2, though how that will work is not yet clear. No more details have been discussed. The company says a full reveal is coming at E3 2018. Blah, blah, blah. So we have a Division 2. Now, from what I played it when it first came out, got to end game, there was literally nothing to fucking do. I stopped playing, right? And in its current state, I've heard it's much better, but I have no desire to go back to it currently. Maybe when Division 2 comes out, I might look into picking it up, knowing that they did. Ubisoft has this weird thing where they like release a game that's buggy and awful at first, and then not awful sometimes, but sometimes it's got really shitty initial launches, and then they just patch it up and make it good over time.
Ubisoft is the devil.
Siege was that way. Origins had some pretty bad bugs at start, and they slowly patched them out. And then now we had the Division, which had like the Destiny problem where the end game wasn't really much to do. And then they eventually added more and more to keep it interesting and keep players going. And probably one of the biggest gaming comebacks in history was Rainbow Six Siege. That game was brought back from the grave and is now pulling 200,000 concurrent players on Steam alone, not even counting consoles. So it's definitely been resurrected. It's crazy. And it's weird. Even like there's still like a dedicated base to For Honor, and I've heard that it does well. I don't know how well it does, but like that game wasn't in its best state on release, and then they slowly patched it into being a better game. It's just weird. It's the Ubisoft motto. Don't buy our game within the first year. That should be what it says on every box. So, yeah. What were you trying to say, Marshall?
I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of For Honor. Turtle tried to get me into it. He loved the beta, bought the like super duper edition, and then hated the game. Barely 3 hours into the game.
Is your mic like one of the ones that hangs down on the wire? Or is it like an actual headset? It's just because like you'll be talking fine, and then like you'll sound like you're getting like really close to the mic, like you're shoving it in your mouth, and then it will kind of back away a bit, and then kind of get closer, and it just kind of peaks your mic. It sounded funny. It sounds funny when you're talking.
My bad. It's just because I'm laying down.
Oh man, I didn't expect that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just letting you know. It hasn't been like the whole time you sound like how our friend Shawn just sounded, but you had a little bit of times where you get like it sound like you were getting too close. Hey, like I said, us here at the Thought Patrol, man, ain't no stranger to shitty microphones. That's our motto here.
We're ain't no stranger.
We ain't no stranger. You heard it here first. So
based out of Sayuk City.
Fuck off.
I cannot fucking believe that shit.
I'm gonna hurt one of you. All right.
Oh, sorry. Sam took some punches today, and he wasn't even here. So when he comes back, I got to make sure that the next time I talk to him, that he knows about your Sayuk City.
Okay.
Just so, and make sure everyone knows that Kyle's new favorite place is Sayuk City.
I'm gonna fucking cut you. All right. What were you saying, Marshall? Let's move this along. Let's move this.
For Honor was what?
It was alright, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Wasn't for me. I know that Turtle Wife was all for it. Bought the super duper $100 edition, and then ended up hating the game 3 hours in after launch.
Rip.
So. Yeah, he's my friend and all, and I hate to see him lose $100, but that was the funniest shit. Because it was even better because he was over at my house for a few days, and that was fantastic.
Watched his descent into madness.
He was in a shitty mood the whole weekend.
Yeah.
It was one of the best weekends of my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Spoken like a true friend.
Yes. Now,
yeah.
I want to add something. It has nothing to do with this situation, but have we seen the reveal photos for Black Ops 4?
If it's Call of Duty, I don't look at anything related.
I'm just saying. I don't know if you stumbled across it, but it's how Black Ops 3 did the Roman numerals, and it was just 3, and Roman numerals it was orange, right?
Yeah.
So Black Ops 4, the geniuses that are Treyarch, just decided to add another notch, right? So, hey, yeah, Black Ops 4, we got 4 lines now. But
that's how Roman numerals
work.
I
don't know if that's how Roman numerals work. I don't think so. So, now they just look stupid. And I don't know if they'll change it or not.
It's a joke.
I hope so. I hope someone at the design team didn't look at that and someone looked at that again and passed it on to someone else before it went to a final edition and yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. I hope that didn't happen. I hope that is a joke. But I just found that amusing that someone doesn't know how Roman numerals work. So moving on, we got a couple more articles real quick before we move on to our main topic, which is just going to be talking about the Direct for a bit. We have PS4 exclusive Days Gone has been delayed, confirmed by Sony. And the subtitle for this article is Delays Gone, which I think is a very unique subtitle. We have Oscar Davis of GameSpot. That was that man. So Sony's upcoming PS4 zombie game, Days Gone, has been delayed. Having originally been scheduled for this year, the survival game will now launch in 2019. Quote, we can confirm that Days Gone will be releasing in 2019, and we will keep you updated on the launch date, Sony told GameSpot. The company did not mention why the game was delayed. Sony Worldwide Studio president Shuhei Yoshida had previously stated the game would launch at some point in 2018, though it was not clear and still isn't at what point in the year that would be. Not much of the game has been shown so far. Audiences have simply seen a glimpse of the same section played during the day and at night. Days Gone was first announced at E3 2016, and it's in development at the Sony-owned Bend Studio, which previously made Uncharted Golden Abyss on PlayStation Vita and the Siphon Filter series. So, Days Gone has been delayed. No clue why. It looked interesting. I like the idea that the way that the zombies work, where they're more of instead of just being an obstacle, they can be used as a weapon. And they kind of work in mass, like World War Z style, where they can just flood an area and you have zombies all over the place. I like the idea of the way the zombies work, and we haven't really seen that in a video game, in a video game before. So interesting to see
It
what
looks
happens.
like Fallout Zombie Edition.
Yeah, I could kind of see that, or kind of like a Walking Dead, the video games like story setting, but just with a bunch more zombies and less humans, kind of. And I don't know how the story is. Usually, zombie stories aren't very special. They kind of fall into the same archetypes, so I don't know what's going to happen. But it's interesting to see what's going on.
I wonder what they're going to go to when zombies. I thought zombies were done.
No,
apparently not.
People still like
them. And
them.
I was totally cool with them, like even years past the expiration date, so to speak. When people are like, "I'm sick of zombie games," I'm like, "Fuck that! Give me zombies to shoot. I'm totally fucking down. Hoorah!" And then 4 more years go by, and I'm like, "All right, yeah, you were right. I don't want to."
I'm personally done with zombies unless there's a game that just has them, but there's elements of the game that are the fun part. I could care less. I'd never even watched The Walking Dead because that was past the point that I stopped caring, so I didn't give a shit about that. I think the last time I gave a shit was probably Last of Us, but that was just more of a good game than a zombie game. And
they weren't very zombie-esque either. I mean, except for the base level enemies.
They're more of like Resident Evil style,
but
it's like an infection that turns them some into just shambling humanoid things.
They were puppets.
Yeah.
It was the fungus that was controlling
the cordyceps fungus. I've seen that shit like work in like real life and how it infects ants and stuff. Yeah, that shit's fucking insane.
Fucking spooky.
Yeah, that shit
creepy.
Freaks me out. Yeah, whoever like put that together and thought like, what if we put this up to 10 and made it infect humans? That was such a cool idea. Definitely awesome.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say whoever invented cordyceps is just a fucking genius.
You could go meet them. They live in Sayuk City.
Oh my fucking God. You listen here. I'll fucking beat you up. All right, let me finish this. Last article. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill doesn't know what The Witcher is, but he will sure be in the goddamn TV show. So this is Eddie Mackey for GameSpot. So a TV show based on The Witcher is coming to Netflix. There is no word as to who will play any of the characters, and that includes Geralt's companion, Vesemir. But now, Star Wars actor Mark Hamill has raised his hand to play the role despite having no idea what The Witcher is. Writer Lauren Hidrich, who recently submitted a draft of the script she wrote for the pilot, posted a series of character descriptions on Twitter for Vesemir. She wrote that he is fatherly, wise, sprightly, and ancient. He is also a historian and keeper of secrets, she said. People on Twitter quickly realized that this also reads like a description of Luke Skywalker. Hamill himself weighed in to say that while he has no idea who Vesemir is or what The Witcher is all about, he's definitely on board to play the character. It might be a joke. It was over Twitter. There's no fucking confirms. But CD Projekt Red, the developer of The Witcher games, even jumped in with a photoshopped image of Hamill's face on Vesemir's body. Quote, "I have no idea what this is or what it's about, but I agree it could or should be played by me," Hamill said, attaching the thumbs up emoji to hammer home his point. All right. So as we all know, there's a Witcher TV show coming out.
Hamill to immediately start looking for work once Disney fucked his character up enough.
Will use the Force for money.
I would.
So if we have Mark
Disney
Hamill as,
if we have no problem whoring it out like a cheap Vietnamese prostitute.
If we have Mark Hamill as Vesemir, let's for fun, let's try and cast some other people as. So we have Geralt. Or Geralt. I already fucking say it.
That one.
Fuck, dude.
What?
Geralt.
Geralt's
Fuck
easy.
Off. Wait, listen. We're going to do that. We're going to do Geralt. Yeah,
Geralt
my
from
boy
Sayuk
Geralt.
City.
He's such a fucking ass. All right, wait.
Geralt from Sayuk City.
And let's get
I just said that.
let's get Siri. Also, we'll do Siri, and then who are the two women? Two important women. I forget their names. I haven't played Witcher in forever. Triss and fuck.
Other one.
Yeah. Wait. Although this is
Daniel Craig needs to play Cheryl.
None of this is gonna fucking happen because it's not based off the video games. It's based off the books. And from what I understand, the books are a bunch of short stories set in the world of The Witcher. So we probably won't even have a Geralt if they're based off of the books. So, but this is just for fun.
Are you talking about the Moorcock books? The ones that aren't Geralt? The ones that are Elric Monimine?
I don't know. If they're called Witcher in their books, then that's what they're talking about.
Is he
No,
the original
Witcher's-
like writer of the series or the like of the books?
There are books that Witcher was ripped off from.
Well, we're talking about the books that are based in the
Well, I meant
Witcher
like
universe.
the Witcher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck did that stuff.
Oh.
I know that the books that the guys who designed the game were big Moorcock fans, so they ripped off his book and turned it into a game.
It's Triss and
The way
Yennefer.
that
Triss
Michael
and Yennefer.
Moorcock was thrilled about that.
All right.
the way that I heard it was they bought like the rights to like make a game based off of the books of the same name for basically nothing because the guy thought that they wouldn't be able to do anything with it, and so now he's super salty about it, and he attributes the success of the video games to the success of the books, which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure if anything it's the other way around.
Yeah, definitely.
The books I read, or
No, the
Witcher?
Witcher books. God, this dude's in like fucking La La Land over there.
Well, no, I mean because the Witcher
He's
books
on
are a
medication.
ripoff, so I wasn't sure which one you're referring to.
We're referring to the Witcher books.
The actual Witcher IP.
So the guy who ripped off the other books is salty.
Yes,
the guy
That's
who wrote
hilarious.
the actual Witcher named
books.
literature.
He's salty
That guy
because
is
the
super
game.
salty about the video games.
Yeah. I think I've heard that too. All right, so we have Geralt, we have Triss, we have Yennefer, and we have Ciri. So let's throw some actors. Although this is not going to happen, but this is for fun. So if we have Vesemir as Mark Hamill, you said Daniel
Hell yeah.
Craig as Geralt.
Yeah.
Daniel, can I?
I'm more of a Benedict Cumberbatch man myself.
No,
I don't know if I
way
could
too
see
young.
either of those as Geralt.
Daniel Craig's got the facial structure. He can play it icy.
I mean,
He can fight.
with emotion, I can see Daniel Craig. I'd like to see something like fucking. We should make it a meme and make it like John Cena or The Rock or something. That'd be the best. The show would get horrible ratings. All right, so Daniel Craig for Geralt, Mark Hamill for Vesemir. So I'll beat your ass. So we have Triss. Who should Triss be? Do we know what Triss looks like? Shawn,
yeah,
do you want a picture of Triss Marigold so you could kind of get an image?
Be careful where you source that from.
Shawn, you there?
What was that?
We need an
I was
actor
trying
for
to play the John Cena voice thing, but then I realized I've got my headset plugged in, so I was going to be the only one that could hear it, and then I was sad.
I can send you a picture of Triss Marigold. Do you think you can give me an actor that you think would play her part well?
Sure. What's her name? Triss
Marigold. That works too, I guess.
I think Charlize Theron kind of looks like her.
Who the fuck is that? Let me look.
Lucy Lawless.
Who?
Lucy Lawless. This chick looks just like Lucy Lawless.
Okay. I could take Charlize.
Lucy Lawless is a little bit older, so they'd have to do some makeup tricks with her. But from what I've seen of her in the game,
Lucy Lawless?
she's got the same build.
Lucy Lawless? How do you spell the last name?
Lawless.
Oh, like Lawless. Okay. Fuck it. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I can see that a lot. Just give her some red hair. Problem solved.
She has pink hair in Ash vs. Evil Dead for part of it.
Okay. I can see that. All right, next we have Yennefer. I could see...
There's a couple actresses that could do that chick.
What's her name? I'm looking it up. Yennefer. Who do you think? I don't know. I'm trying. Every time, you know what, faces will pop into my head, but I won't be able to put a name to them when I think of actors. It's the worst. I suck ass with names.
What characters? List characters.
Yennefer. Oh, no, I can't. A face pops into my head.
What's her face from Ninja Turtles and Transformers?
Megan Fox?
Megan Fox, yeah.
I don't think I can support that decision.
Or that chick that was in Ella Enchanted, or
Angelina
that other
Jolie. If she wasn't an old bitch, we could do Angelina Jolie. Like younger Angelina Jolie, I could see as Yennefer, but like
If
younger.
Megan Fox could act, she has the look down.
Megan Fox could act. Just put her thumb like on stage and dress it up as Yennefer, and I'd watch that. Her disgusting thumb.
There's a chick that cosplays as Yennefer. Her name's Joan Wolfe. She looks just like her.
Okay, I'll take that. I mean, that's her job to look just like her. Okay, finally. All right, so we have either younger Angelina Jolie or the girl from whatever Shawn said. All right, let's do Siri now, just so we can push this shit along. Do we know what Siri looks like? I'm thinking.
I know I do.
How do you spell Siri?
Ciri. I got a picture of her and her nipples are exposed. That's fan art. That's not what I needed. That's like the image that they
chick from Game of Thrones.
Are you searching like online, or are you searching your like on your like your hard drive on your computer?
No, I don't.
Khaleesi, dude. She's already got white wigs from Game of Thrones. Boom, done.
Yeah, I kind of see it. We just cut up her face a bit.
Or what about I don't remember the actress's name. But she was the chick in Rogue One.
I will find it.
It was
in a
like
second.
Jess or Jessica something.
I just was so racist the way I typed out Rogue One.
I can see that.
The way I can see that. The way I typed out Rogue One was like if it was an Asian man saying it, like Rogue One. That's the way I typed. That's the way I typed out Rogue One into Google. I can see that. What's her name?
Is that how you envision me?
Yes. As a tiny Asian man, like a baby Jackie Chan. A baby Jackie Chan is how I envision you. Her name is Felicity Jones. That's her name.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
What were you guessing? What's her name?
Finn? I don't fucking know.
Nothing, don't worry about it.
I'm pretty sure it was nothing like Felicity Jones.
Damn.
No, it was like basically right there.
This movie's got a 65 on Metascore. RIP. All right. We're not going to talk about everyone's thoughts on Rogue One. Let's move forward. All right. There we go. That was an absolute fucking train wreck because we all suck with names. But let's move on. That'd be interesting to see. I'm excited for a Witcher TV show. Hopefully it's good. Netflix usually does a good job with their TV shows. They usually don't fuck things up. Unless it's like an anime movie. Those are usually...
I don't know. That Suicide one was pretty garbage. The one that promoted suicide instead of...
13 Reasons Why. Yeah, Caitlyn.
13 Reasons Why Suicide is an excellent method to get revenge on people that hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. Just kill yourself, kids. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's a great idea. God, that show is such poison.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of anything that romanticizes things like that. So, no, I definitely agree with you, though. I remember when we talked about, what's it called? This shape of voice? A silent voice. A silent voice is what it was called.
Yeah.
We compared the two because I think Silent Voice does it a lot better and it does not romanticize suicide like 13 Reasons Why does.
No, 13 Reasons Why is toxic and Netflix refuses to get rid of it because every 13-year-old girl is like, oh my god!
I'll get back in my boyfriend by slitting my wrists. That got very dark. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but every
adult,
every single adult in that show,
there you go,
is completely fucking useless.
Tide Pods, dude. Tide Pods. What was the new thing? I heard something new that people were doing that was stupid.
Hot coil challenge.
Oh
baby.
Yeah, dude. They just put their hands on like hot shit, like their stove and stuff, because that totally
like
won't burn you.
Those old electric coil stoves from way back when.
I love the
heat
smell.
It up all the way, and you see how long you can hold your arm to it.
Love the smell of melting flesh.
That is. I got nothing.
Well, people legitimately died from this Tide Pod challenge. So what do you expect? People are retarded. Give it.
I thought there were no fatalities from it.
I think so. I think someone died from the Tide. I'm gonna find out. Did anyone die from the Tide Pod challenge? Someone had to have died.
I love how it starts off as a meme, like nobody actually thinking that like it's an actual challenge, and then somebody's like, "I'm gonna do it for YouTube views, cause I'm a stupid moron." Yay!
Well, I know CNN reported on poison control calls spike due to online Tide Pod challenge.
Don't believe
I
everything
don't know
you hear
that
from CNN.
there's been any deaths that you can attribute directly to that, but there's definitely
It's got
been a couple of
an
poison control
agent in it that
calls.
makes you wretched up the moment your tongue tastes it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same with those Switch cartridges.
Yeah, I was going to say this. Fuck, I was going to say that. They look so damn delicious, though, man. What else am I supposed to
Well, I
eat?
hear that there is a big spike in Tide Pod purchasing in Sayuk City.
Listen here.
But I'm not sure what it's for.
I'll fucking cut you. I know I saw some
Maybe they're
pictures
trying
like
to
at some
grow
like
up.
it's like at some like stores they were actually locking them in lock boxes, the fucking Tide Pods, because people would like come into the store and steal them and shit. They wouldn't even like properly buy them. They just steal Tide Pod bags. Those things are expensive. Those big bags. All right.
If I was still a teenage thug,
A young
and
spry
had no
teen.
respect for authority, I might be tempted to break open a box of Tide Pod shit and just throw them all over the store. But I think that would probably be the extent of my usage of Tide Pods. They don't even work that great for laundry. Like using traditional laundry detergent actually works better on your clothes.
Give a good old dick
It's
suck
just
to
like to lazy half clean your shit. That's why the number one purchaser of Tide Pods is like single guys, because they just don't give a shit.
All right.
Just drop it in and close it. Oh my god, that's perfect.
Exactly. That shirt kind of still has a cum stain on it, but we should be fine. All right, let's move
Yeah,
forward.
I mean, it doesn't smell like it's been worn before, so we're good.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to our main topic. 2.5 hours in.
Brand shirts.
Yep. 2.5 hours in. I love this show. All right, let's move. We got recently Nintendo fucking broke the internet with their recent Nintendo Direct because this shit was not. Oh, you could kind of say it was seen coming, but it just was not expected.
More than Mario's nipples broke the internet.
Probably. Or what's her face's ass broke the internet? Probably. Oh. She also apparently watches anime, so everyone watches anime now because it's cool. And I think the two shows that are really big are Darling in the Franxx, because Kim Kardashian watches it, and Naruto because some rapper watches it. I think something like that. I don't
Dude,
remember.
rappers have watched
Michael B.
fucking
Jordan
shonen
watches
shit for decades.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They have anime based rap music that's been around for about 5 or 10 years too. So
I know Logic.
just because one dude started watching it and made waves, that's
Yeah,
just been going on for a while.
Yeah, there's some dude replied to it was like an article, it was like, is anime cool now? And some dude replies like, fuck y'all, anime's been dope as fuck for a while. Or some shit like that. Yeah, like I think she dead ass posted a picture of the girl and her name's like 02. It's the most recent Trigger show. It's kind of weird, but like the girl has horns and she has pink hair, and Kim Kardashian made her hair pink. It's like, this is who I put my hair pink after, and she literally posted a picture of 02 in her Instagram or some shit like that. It was weird. I don't know.
God, does this mean I have to stop watching anime for fear of being associated with a Kardashian?
Just don't watch Darling in the Franxx, although it's
Exactly
pretty
what it
decent.
means.
Darling in the Franxx isn't too bad. It's a pretty good show.
I know, but like the moment I get associated with Kim Kardashian, my life has turned to poison.
Yeah, exactly. You could feel the it's like you have like a kill switch in your body. The moment you get too close, it like triggers, and you got like
that woman is living cancer.
Oh my goodness. All right. So the Direct happened. We had a bunch of reveals come. And you've probably already heard about all of them, but we're going to talk about them anyway. So, originally, or the biggest thing probably, is Nintendo has officially announced that a Super Smash Bros. Is coming to the Switch. So we have a Smash coming to the Switch. Now, is it new, or is it a remake of Smash 4? No clue. It just is called Super Smash Brothers.
Nobody saw coming, dude.
I hope it's a remake, because then I won't have to buy Smash 4 for Wii U, because fuck Nintendo, I hate you.
I'd rather have a newer one, but I mean, we're getting new characters. The Splatoon kids are going to be in, or the Splatoon Squid Kid will be there, and you could probably switch between the boy and the girl. They're like alternate skins. Apparently, the Link model that they show off in the trailer does not look like the Link from Smash 4. It looks like the Breath of the Wild Link. So either they're reworking Link into Breath of the Wild Link, and giving him a new moveset, or they're just reskinning him to make him look like Breath of the Wild Link. I don't know what the hell their intentions are, but like in that case, usually they just make a new character, like they did with like Toon Link or something like that. And they have a lot of opportunities there probably because Breath of the Wild Link works differently. He doesn't like have a shitload of gadgets. It's more like he has his runes and then like a bow and like some other things here and there, the bombs. But he doesn't have like a shitload of gadgets like the grappling hook and other things like that. So I could see them implementing like...
They took the hook shot away?
Yeah, there's no hook shot in Breath of the Wild.
Blasphemy!
A lot of it is you have... all your powers are given to you from the get-go. And you just use them to solve puzzles that are asset flipped throughout the game. And then the dungeons are there too, which are also asset flipped, which is interesting. And what I mean by asset flipped is it's like, so you go into one shrine, it's a big blue room with stuff that you do, and you go into another shrine, it's a big blue room with stuff that you do, and they're all like little puzzles. But when you asset flip is you buy a bunch, the term originated with people that would make indie games. They buy a bunch of assets off of like the Unity store
or something.
And then they'd make a game, throw a game together real lazily and sloppily, and then sell it for money, and then do that same thing and rinse and repeat and just make generic games and try and make as much money selling generic games for like a few bucks on the Steam store. That's asset flipping. So it's a negative connotation.
I think that that is like one specific instance, like making a fuckload of just super shitty games. I think that was just that I know of. I think that might have been just Digital Homicide.
Well, I'm sure. Well, you could find shitty like horror games all over the place made by different people.
I know, but I mean, like, I think Digital Homicide is the one that
it's like the biggest perpetrator of asset flipping. Yeah, I remember watching
they make like 4.
Who was the dude that talked about them? I remember watching his video. Was it like the Cynical Brit or something like that? I don't remember his fucking name. He has like the top hat. And he dresses in a black
Gym
suit.
Inquisition or something?
Yeah, something like that. That dude. Yeah, I watched his video on it.
Yeah, and they tried to sue him for like $45 million or something.
Yeah.
Retarded.
So
yeah,
that's what I refer to with asset flipping. So, and you can see that in the shrines. The shrines, besides one or a couple of them, which are like based in areas, they're all like you go down an elevator and you have a big room with the same assets that you do a puzzle in. And in my opinion, I see that as something lazy. I understand they're trying to fill the world up. And Shawn, also, there's no dungeons in Breath of the Wild. I know you haven't played it. There's no dungeons. They just have the big animals.
I have it. I just have it on Wii U, and I've been so busy with other shit.
They have the big animals that you go in that are also asset flipped. They pretty much share the same design. They just have different layouts, and you do that. And I'm just taking my time to hark on Zelda because I didn't think it was the best thing since sliced bread like everyone else did. What else was I going to say? So the Breath of the Wild Link is coming. I don't know what they're going to plan on doing. I don't know if it's a new character. Again, we have no idea. All we have is this video of the Splatoon kids shooting ink at each other and coming up, and then the Smash logo is there. And then they have characters there. Mario looks like he's about to fucking beat someone's ass and stuff like that. So everyone's been blown the fuck up. Switch is a very big property for Nintendo. Or not Switch, Smash. So definitely a huge reveal here, especially since we haven't gotten anything from it. Nintendo did a fantastic job of nothing getting leaked. And it almost like felt like we don't know how much time we have till the game actually comes out. But I don't know. But it felt like something like Fallout 4 style where it's like, boom, game dropped, not knowing anything about it prior. And then we got like a month till it comes out, which was super fucking cool. But definitely interesting that Smash is coming. We have a couple other things, which is also not something that really excites me, except I don't have a 3DS anymore. Is the original Luigi's Mansion is coming to 3DS. So that's really fucking cool. Blah, blah, blah. So we have Smash coming. Apparently there's a game called Dion's or Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers is coming to the 3DS. No fucking clue what this says. I don't know what the Dylan series is. They have a picture here of something that looks like an armadillo. No clue.
Spell it?
Dillon. And he looks like an armadillo.
I don't know. That sounds retarded.
So that's that. We have, again, original Luigi's Mansion's coming to the 3DS for a remake, which is awesome. Everyone knows that Dark Souls is coming, but they announced that a Solaire Dark Souls amiibo is going to come out. So amiibos are the little Nintendo statues, but it's literally Solaire of Astora, which is the meme. If anyone see the meme, like praise the sun with the dude with his hands, he's doing that same exact fucking pose. So you can get an amiibo of a meme, and it's the best. So,
Amiibo.
The amiibo will let you perform the popular praise the sun gesture with reckless abandon. Although you can normally wait. I guess the praise the sun emote wasn't in the original game. I don't know. I'd never played the original Dark Souls, so that's how I'm excited the remaster is coming. But definitely a cool amiibo to add to your collection. They're making Captain Toad Treasure Tracker will be coming to the Switch, which was a Wii U game. So this is why people are kind of bringing up this fact, like, hey, I own this game already, dude. Can I get like a discount if I want to buy it again? Like, come on, I've already played it entirely. If I wanted to get it on my Switch, do I really have to drop another $60 for it? So it'll get some new levels based on Super Mario Odyssey, and the port's coming out July 13th. Dark Souls Remastered hits May 25th. The Luigi's Mansion remake, someone got a Final Fantasy dungeon. The Luigi's Mansion remake comes out sometime in 2018. They haven't said. The Dead Heat Breakers Dylan game is coming out on the 24th, and Smash we have no idea. It's saying it's going to hit in 2018 though. So sorry, I forgot to do all the fucking release dates. Next, another interesting addition to the Switch's library is we're getting South Park: The Fractured Butthole is coming to the Switch, which is interesting.
No, you had it right the first time.
Okay, whatever.
But hearing that was coming to the Switch, that genuinely surprised me.
Yeah, I did not expect that at all either. And I know they're trying to go for the more...
especially now with like Nintendo's family-friendly...
No, dude, they're going for the hardcore audience. That's why we're getting Dark Souls and South Park and fart jokes. That game was full of fart jokes. I'm not in middle school anymore. South Park.
But at the same time, you're getting Toad's Treasure Tracker and
yeah.
Mario the next one and Mario the other one. Yeah. And
man, I see you did your research, man.
I don't know. It's Mario.
Yeah, it's Mario. I got you.
It's Mario.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting addition of a really fun game in general. I haven't played it, but I've watched a bunch of people play through it. It's not something I would genuinely pick up for the Switch, I don't think, but definitely a cool addition to the game that comes out April 24th, actually, which is pretty soon. Also, Splatoon 2 is getting a bunch of new stuff. Have you owned the game? The first paid DLC is coming to the game, which is called Octo Expansion. It's a single player mode that actually makes you an Octoling, which is they have squids and they have octopus people, and you can only always play as a squid. But now they're adding octos to the game. You make your way through 80 new levels. Once you finish, you'll get to play in multiplayer as an Octoling, which I always wanted. I thought the Octolings looked cooler than the squid people when I played the first one, at least. This will come out. This expansion will cost $20 and will be out this summer. Splatoon 2 is also getting a 3.0 update in late April, which will add new outfits, new stages, and a new X rank probably for like the ranked mode. A couple other things we have coming out. Apparently, WarioWare is coming to the 3DS on August 3rd. We have Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is being remade for the 3DS, alongside with Bowser Jr.'s story. Awesome. Which is both coming to 2019. Okami HD is coming to the Switch in summer, which is really cool. They also showed a bunch of gameplay for Mario Tennis Aces, which is coming June 22nd, new Mario Tennis game. Also, Octopath Traveler, new Square Enix game. Looks fucking awesome. I played the demo. It's coming out July 13th. That's probably some of the most exciting, one of the most exciting things for me personally, on top of Smash coming to the Switch. I've been looking forward to Octopath Traveler for a very long time, and it's coming July 13th, which is super cool. Apparently, Undertale's coming to the Switch with a release date of eventually. Don't ask me why. I think, the Switch's demographic is towards older people, but I think the Nintendo, the demographic of that age group is good for Undertale. A lot of kids really liked Undertale when it came out. I don't know. We have another No More Heroes game is coming to the Switch, which everyone's known about for a while. No More Heroes is a cool game. Isn't that made by the dude that made the director? He just makes really weird games. Didn't he also make God Punch or something like that? Or what was that game called? Not God Punch. God Fist? God Hand? I think it's God Hand.
God Hand.
Yeah,
I think
that was the same director.
he made those. He also made that weird first-person shooter where you change personalities. You have multiple personalities, and one of them's like a paraplegic, and one of them's something else. And
That's
each
interesting.
one,
I haven't heard of
each
that.
personality you shift into changes how you play the shooter.
That's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it was on Wii. I've got it, and I've got the first No More Heroes.
No More Heroes is cool.
Those are kind of hard to find.
That interests me. I don't know how excited I am, but they showed off some new footage. Apparently, they're making a port of the Crash Insane trilogy. It's coming to the Switch on the 10th of July, so that's cool. A goofy sushi battle game, Sushi Striker, Way of the Sushido, is now also coming to the Switch. Jesus Christ, that title hurts me.
If they're doing that, there's no way that Sony's ever going to get Crash back as a mascot if he's going to start popping up on other systems.
Yeah. Also, another interesting twist, we have Little Nightmares will be coming to the Switch on the 18th of May, which is really cool. And Hyrule...
Complete Edition.
Yeah, the Complete Edition, so all the DLC.
Game.
Yeah, it's awesome. And also Hyrule Warriors will be coming to the Switch on May 18th as well. And that kind of worries me because fucking the Fire Emblem Warriors game did not run very well. And I know that Hyrule Warriors had its issues on the Wii U when you played multiplayer, so I have no clue how this game's going to run on the Switch. It was good, but if you played multiplayer, that game chugged like ass. It was fucking awful. There was sadly no Metroid Prime stuff there, but I'd love before Metroid Prime 4 comes out, they'd like drop a bomb kind of like the Smash where it's like Metroid Prime trilogy coming to the Switch, and it's all remastered in HD. That'd be so fucking awesome. I'd love to play through the first 3 Prime games again on the Switch with like dual sticks and not the shitty lock-on that you had on the GameCube or even the motion control on the Wii. That'd be awesome. I'd love to get a trilogy port before we get the 4th game. But yeah, that was the Direct. The Smash announcement literally took the internet by storm. People on Twitter having fucking seizures all over the place. It was crazy. So that's the news that we have moving forward.
I believe you left a game out, Mario Tennis Aces.
Oh, I said that. I just didn't.
Oh,
I didn't harp on it too much. I said that they showed off some gameplay for it. Did I? I think I said it.
Right.
Is it going to have the RPG features that the last few Mario Tennises did? The ones starting on Game Boy?
I have no clue. I know that the one
I
played...
It is going to have tennis racket durability, so that's
what?
a thing. Yeah.
What?
So now you can do like a power shot, and it takes away the durability of your opponent's racket, and like 3 of those power shots, and then that racket is busted, and then you only get X amount of rackets per game.
Oh, okay. So
I guess that's one way that you could win.
You got like micro RPG elements kind of going on
there. Well, the first Mario Tennis that was on Game Boy had a school that you attended. You would go around the school and talk to different characters, and you would initiate encounters in the form of tennis matches and shit like that.
Oh, interesting. The only Mario Tennis game I've played was the one on the GameCube, and that was just like a tennis game. You can get into exhibition matches, or they had tournaments that you can do, and they had like mini games here and there, but for the most part it was just a tennis game. I never had one that had like a pseudo story to it, so I don't know. I've only seen a little bit of the footage here and there, so I haven't really fully dived into it. I thought Mario Tennis was okay. I didn't really care for the one that came out. Didn't one come out on the Wii U? I think they had
always come out with Mario Tennis. Nobody buys it.
They had another Mario Tennis game, I think, that came out. I didn't touch it. It was either Wii U or 3DS, I'm not too sure. Also, unfortunately, nothing on Pokemon coming to the Switch. We know that there is one coming. We just didn't see anything for it, so that kind of bums me out too. But that's got me excited as well. That's probably the other reason I purchased the Switch besides getting a chance to play Zelda. And I'm super pumped for a new Pokemon, especially on the Switch's hardware and how good that Nintendo can make games look on the Switch. I can't imagine what they can do to Pokemon with this new hardware. And we're not on portable systems anymore. We're not on 3DS. And even on the 3DS, the recent Pokemon games looked fucking gorgeous. Like the ones that were set in the Alolan region, Sun and Moon. Those look really pretty for the 3DS. And it's amazing them being on those little cards, and now we've moved up, still on little cards. But I can see something like that just again pushed up to fit the new hardware. I can't imagine how gorgeous that shit would look. It's got me super excited just to see what we might get out of this next region of Pokemon. We might even get our fated MMO Pokemon game. I highly fucking doubt it, but that'd be really cool to have an MMO Pokemon game, and like each server can be set on regions and stuff like that, and being able to battle against your friends, or having like a social hub where you can trade and hang out with other trainers. That'd be super dope, and I'd love to see something like that. So I cannot suppress my excitement for a new Pokemon game coming to the Switch, and I will be playing that whenever it comes out, on top of Metroid Prime and Smash when we eventually get that. Don't have Splatoon 2, couldn't give a shit even if I tried. And the rest of these games are cool. Okami HD I have on PC, so I've dabbled in it a bit. I haven't fully beat it. And Octopath Traveler has me excited. I love Square Enix, and everything about that demo was good. It was awesome. Story was really cool. I liked the way the game played. The look of it was awesome. It being sprite based but in a 3D environment, it was so cool, and everything about it was awesome. So that game's got me super pumped too. And it's like right around the corner. It's like 3 months away. So definitely awesome. And that's the direct. There's not really much else. Now we talked, since we answered Sam's questions early, we talked about what we kind of want to see from Nintendo this year. Just to reiterate that, I'm really hoping for Virtual Console. Let me play Super Mario Sunshine, please. Whose dick do I have to suck to play Super Mario Sunshine on my Switch? That's all I need. That's all I want. And I'd like to have that yesterday if possible, but that's just not here yet. So that would be cool. Maybe like a legitimate online service that's not shitty, where we don't have to talk through our phones to talk to people and set up gaming appointments and shit like that. Maybe to revamp their online service would probably help a lot, so it's not shitty.
Yeah. What? By the way, whatever happened to Nintendo's what was going to be their equivalent of PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live?
It's still coming out. I think it's like later this year they're releasing it. It's gonna.
So they're gonna start charging people for online.
It's $20 a year, and at this point in time, I have no reason to pay for it, even though it's cheap. Like, there's nothing online that I can really do with other people besides Mario Kart, and I'm just gonna be sad that I can no longer do that for free. But like, the only thing that kind of has me interested is I think it was confirmed that you get like free games, kind of like PlayStation Plus and Xbox does. And that'd be cool. Yeah, I've heard that they're like the older games, so you could get like free SNES, free NES games. So probably what's going to happen when they announce and drop their new live service, they're going to wait till then, and then boom, Virtual Console is now available today. Go get some games or whatever. And I could see that happening, and then drop that bomb, and then people go and buy all their favorite NES, SNES games or whatever that they decide to put on the store initially, and they're all like $10 a pop because Nintendo's fucking evil. I don't know how much they'd cost. We'll see. But if you look at, I don't know, because they might even hold back, because there's rumors that there might be a Nintendo 64 mini coming, like they've been doing with the NES and SNES, the little like smaller versions that have games loaded on them.
They've said they're going to get around to it eventually. So they just don't know when they're going to do it.
So they might hold off until they kind of exhaust that resource, kind of like people don't care about these anymore, and then like, oh hey, now you could have a virtual market now that we've squeezed all the money out of you in this area. I don't know. I have no idea what the their intentions there are, but I just want my virtual store. I'd love Super Mario Sunshine, and if I could play it again, I'd like to. And I actually recently did pick it up again, and I've been playing it on PC here and there with an Xbox controller. But it's just weird. It doesn't feel the same. I'd rather have like a legitimate way of playing it that's like put together by Nintendo that doesn't look like shit like it does on a Dolphin emulator and stuff like that. Especially, man, like I have so many fond memories of Super Mario Sunshine, and then I go back to try and play it in like a higher resolution. I'm like, man, this game looks like asshole. Like, what is this? It's ridiculous. Oh, man. Those early eras of like Nintendo 64, obviously Sunshine was GameCube, but like when we were fully starting to kind of develop the like 3D graphics and models started to look better, and we were moving out of like PlayStation era and stuff like that, and things started to look good. It still wasn't perfect, but Nintendo had kind of got in a good grasp on making their characters not look like polygonal messes. So, but they've always been like that. Like, ever since, like Shawn's been saying, GameCube, Nintendo's constantly had to work with maximizing what their systems can do and just trying to make games look as pretty as possible. So that's why games have always looked so cartoony. And then now we're finally seeing steps out of that realm with Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. Only because, barely. Only because the fact
Breath
that
of the Wild used the cell shading to cut down on what they had to do with the graphics engine because they can't.
Yeah, no, they can't.
It's another game.
Even certain areas of the Switch version, if you have the thing docked, it will chug frames. It will drop below 30. Like if you're in the area where the Master Sword is located, spoilers, I guess. And you're trying to, there's grass everywhere and shit. If the game's trying to force a higher resolution, that shit chugs like a bitch. You're like, man, the frames are dropping harder than fucking. I was trying to think of something. I can't think of something.
Hiroshima.
There you go. There you go.
Dropping harder than John Cena drops elbows.
Catch him on Netflix this summer in The Witcher, playing as Geralt. Okay.
From Sayuk City.
Fuck off. So done with you.
You're the one that keeps saying it wrong. Stop saying Geralt.
What is it? Geralt?
Geralt. No, Geralt.
Fuck off.
RG, Geralt. That's how they say it in the game.
Hey, unpopular opinion, I never finished it. So, and I
misspoke. It's James.
That's a little. I had 2 copies of the game and I still haven't finished it. It's just like, I'm very completionist-esque when I try and play games, and I don't want to complete The Witcher. It's going to take me too long and I don't feel like doing it. And I've heard like the story's good and all that. I'm even originally not a very big fan of like fantasy set in medieval time RPGs. I don't know why. It's just the setting doesn't appeal to me all that much. I'd much rather have like a scientific sci-fi compared to like a fantasy medieval sci-fi. Or something that's maybe more modern. Although I'll play it. The game can still be fun, but like the combat started to annoy me because it wasn't that. I mean, it was kind of fleshed out, but it wasn't hella fleshed out, and I just couldn't force myself. What I'll have to do is go back to it and just force myself to do all the main story as much as I can without having to like level up on the side. And when I have to, go level up on the side and then just keep pushing through the main story just to say that I've beaten the game, because I don't want to do everything. I have no desire to do that, and I think it has something to do with the setting as well. I don't know. No fucking clue. But I have it on PC, and it's fucking magnanimously pretty. It like melts my eyeballs. It's so cool looking, and even on console it looks fantastic. I smacked the table by accident. So side tangent out of the way. All right. Again, that was Nintendo Direct. We're hoping Nintendo doesn't butt fuck us anymore, but we're excited to see what they have in store. At least I am. So I'm glad you both can join me. We had quite a lengthy episode this time, and a lot of that came to do from that we read like half of a porno fan fiction and just side tangents. So, but it was a blast. I enjoyed having you both here.
It's great to be on.
Yep. So, Shawn, you know what time it is, my friend.
Hugs and kisses and all your pink parts, babies.
Oh, my heart. It skipped a beat. Huh. So, all right. And Marshall, you got to think of something, dude.
Outro. Filmed in front of a live studio audience in Sayuk City.
I hate you so much. All right, and before we go, I shall leave you all with a thought. Elephants are the only animals that cannot jump.